So they helped me get an apartment and get settled in, get the car here and all that stuff, and kind of just take all those logistics out of my hands, and they take them on so that I can just focus on pitching, which made life very easy for me.
Austin, really appreciate the time. Great work out of the Padres bullpen so far, and we'll talk to you again down the road. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That was new Padres reliever Austin Davis earlier this week here at Petco Park. Davis has not appeared yet in this series. We'll see if Davis appears at some point today out of the Padres bullpen. Let's give you today's keys to the game.
How will the Padres unlock a victory in today's game? These are the keys to the game. Presented by Honor Buick GMC Hummer in National City.
We're going to keep our keys to the game very, very simple here today. Key number one, the Padres offense continuing to put the pressure on Diamondbacks pitching. And I'm going to have more on that later because you're going to want to keep an eye on that Dbacks bullpen here today. But let's focus on the Padres offense. Padres hitters have a combined .332 batting average against Diamondbacks pitching this year and a .958 OPS against Arizona. It's their highest against any single opponent in 2024. The Padres have also hit 18 home runs against the D-backs in their 9 games played. A .575 slugging percentage against Arizona. Their most home runs, their highest slugging percentage against any one club this year. So the point being, the Padres, for the most part, have ripped up Diamondbacks pitching so far this season. Final game these two teams will play here at Petco Park in 2024. Go out and do it again. That's key number one. Key number two, more specifically about one guy, Jurickson Profar. He has been terrific against the Diamondbacks this year, hitting .324 with a .735 slugging percentage and 34 at-bats against Arizona this year. How about this? 4 home runs already against them, 9 RBIs, and 8 runs scored in 9 games against Arizona already this year. So Jurickson Profar doing something like that again. That's key number 2. And key number 3, limit this Diamondbacks offense. You look at what the D-backs bats have done in the last 10 games since June 25th. They rank first in the NL in on-base percentage in that span at .351, first in OPS at .826, first in runs scored at .67, second in team batting average at .278. The bottom line is that over the course of the last 10 games, this Arizona offense has been really, really good. And look, we saw it the first 2 nights of this series. Diamondbacks scoring 7 runs last night, 8 runs on Friday night. Their offense has been good. Dylan Cease in this Padres bullpen, they have to find a way to limit this offense here today I should say, and be a little bit better. So pretty simple keys to the game today, but the Padres swinging it well and limiting the Diamondbacks offense pretty much are keys to today's game, this series finale between the Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Padres, by the way, playing their 9th rubber match today. Padres have been great in these games so far this year. The Padres entering today are 7-1 in rubber games this season. So take that for what you will. We'll see if the Padres can improve to 8-1 in these kinds of games here today. When we come back, we dive deep into this Arizona bullpen. Could play a major role in today's game. And we dive even deeper into today's pitching matchup between Dylan Cease and Ryan Nelson. Plus, we hear from the All-Star, Jurickson Profar. Much more to do in our pregame coverage after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Stick around for much more coverage of today's Padres game on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. Visit EcoWaterSoCal.com for a free water test and consultation. Your water should be perfect.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hey guys, it's your old pal Woodsy for Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Your 15 minutes or less drive-through oil change reminds you you can stay in your car while it's being serviced. Valvoline is the quick, convenient, and most trusted oil change provider in San Diego. I go to the one by my house, every 3,000 miles. You're not driving as much, don't need an oil change? Valvoline Instant Oil Change offering a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Valvoline is open 7 days a week. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com That's SoCalOilChange.com.
Get ready to party, Poway. Join us at the all-new Petter Hyundai Poway on July 10th from noon to 3 for fun, food, and fantastic savings during our grand reopening sales event. It's all happening at the all-new Petter Hyundai Poway on July 10th from noon to 3.
Hey, it's Gravy here from Gwen and Chris. Make things easy on yourself like I do and take advantage of the 1,500 Kaiser Permanente doctors in San Diego. Plus, most of your appointments are all in one building. For more information, go to kp.org/San Diego. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
Have we been tricked, burdened with debt, and made to feel like we have no other options? And with prices skyrocketing all over the country, credit card debt, medical bills, and other unsecured debt that were once manageable now feel impossible to pay back. So how do we fix it? With accredited debt relief, you can consolidate your debt into one affordable monthly payment, which could save you hundreds of dollars a month. No matter if you have $25, $50, or even $100,000 of debt, a debt specialist can create a personalized plan customized to your budget. Accredited debt relief has helped over 300,000 Americans to get out of over $1 billion of debt, and you could be next. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews, Accredited Debt Relief is committed to helping those who feel tricked get out of the never-ending cycle of debt. Call 866-491-0944 to start your free consultation today. That's 866-491-0944. 866-491-0944. Program and services not available in all states.
Drilled deep right field, way back, and gone for a home run. Jose Ramirez with a 2-out, 2-run homer makes it a 4-run third inning for the Guardian. And for Cleveland, that is now their 13th home run they've hit this year with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. They hit 12 all of last year.
Looking forward to at the All-Star game?
Everything. For my son, is going to be a really happy moment. Just, I think, watching the home run derby with him.
Obviously. So that was Jurickson Profar. Just a quick little bite there. Should be really, really special for Jurickson and his son to be at the home run derby. And really should be a lot of fun watching Jurickson back in Arlington, Texas for his first ever All-Star game. Let's preview today's pitching matchup between Ryan Nelson and Dylan Cease.
Let's take a look at who's on the bump today with our starting pitching preview. Presented by Chimney Sweeps, Inc., San Diego's trusted chimney and fireplace service company for 40 years. Call Chimney Sweeps, Inc. at 1-800-CHIMNEY or book an inspection online at chimneysweepsinc.com.
Right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres here today. The 28-year-old is 7-7, a 4.24 ERA now in 18 starts, 102 innings, 130 strikeouts, and 32 walks. His last start in Texas against the Rangers, not a good one. 3 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs given up, 8 hits, 2 home runs allowed. That was after a tremendous start against the Washington Nationals. His last start here at home, he went 7 scoreless innings, gave up just 1 hit and struck out 9. If you zoom out on Cease's last 10 starts, look, the numbers are not very good. 6.15 ERA in 52-plus innings, 11 home runs given up. And for context, Cease gave up just 2 home runs in his first 49 innings of the season combined. So the home run ball has been a big issue as of late. Cease allowed 1 run in 6 2/3 innings and a 7-1 Padres win over the Diamondbacks in Arizona during the month of May. Meanwhile, on the mound for the Diamondbacks, right-hander Ryan Nelson, 26 years old, comes into today's start, 5-6 on the year, a 5.42 ERA. 73 innings, he struck out only 49, walked 19, a 3.13 opponent batting average against Nelson. Nelson held the Dodgers to 1 run in 5 innings. That was Tuesday in L.A., his last time out. Nelson has faced the Padres twice this season. One was a blowout victory for the Diamondbacks. They won that game 11-4. One was a game where the Padres blew out the Dbacks, and the Padres won that game 13-1. Overall, Nelson has given up 10 runs, 9 earned, and a 3.59 opponent batting average in 8+ innings against the Padres so far this season. And that's a look at our starting pitching matchup here today. Ryan Nelson on the mound for Arizona, and it is right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for San Diego. You've been listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network. EcoWater SoCal, your water should be perfect. Find them online at EcoWaterSoCal.com. It has been a very entertaining series so far. The Padres winning a thriller on Friday night, an extra inning affair last night. Diamondbacks found a way to win it. What's in store? The rubber match of this 3-game series coming up. We're going to find out. When we come back, Jesse Agler, Bob Scanlon have the full starting lineups, first pitch, and all the play-by-play. I'll talk to you on our postgame show. You're listening to your home for San Diego Padres baseball, 97.3 The Fan, and the Padres Radio Network.
Grilling is personal. No matter how you like to grill your burgers, make sure you start with Jensen Premium Patties. Look for the black box in the frozen section at Food for Less. Jensen Meat, a proud sponsor of the Padres Radio Network.
Make it a Grand Slam Can you find Pete Alonso in this sea of Mets fans?
Alonso drives one deep left field, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his second home run of the day. Pete Alonso keeps on raking. Just very strong.
And there he is.
Brett Rooker joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here? That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches, and I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think
God, he's going to work here. I know he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
Valley View Casino and Hotel, Palomar Health, Genesis Home Improvements, Honor Buick GMC Hummer in National City, Cask and Coast Premium California Bourbon. Frozen Ropes Baseball and Softball Training Facilities. Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air. Lineage Watch Company. Fraser Farms Market. Baja Rick's Cantina. Bada Fulkerson Law Group. Sin Lee Food. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Kaiser Permanente. Hamul Casino. Jensen Meats. El Cajon Ford. Soapy Joe's Car Wash. Tarpey Plumbing, Heating and Air. Timber Tech. Grand Jetto's Farm and Garden Supply. Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, Sid's Carpet Bar, and by Ken Grody Ford. Now, let's take you up in the Padres broadcast booth.
Fernando at the wall, leaps up. Oh, he made the catch.
Here's Jesse Agler and Bob Scanlon.
Petco Park, downtown San Diego, in the final game of a 3-game series between the Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And after a couple of wild nights here downtown, it is a rubber game. Padres walked it off with a 10-8 victory on Friday night. Tried to do the same yesterday in the 10th inning, but Arizona able to hold on for a 7-5 victory. Here this afternoon, Dylan Cease on the mound against Ryan Nelson. And with Bob Scanlon and our producer-engineer Dave Marcus, I'm Jesse Agler. Thanks for making us a part of your Sunday. And Scans, the Padres have certainly not been boring here in 2024, and I don't know that we've had a couple of nights like the last two. That is how crazy it kind of feels like it has been here.
It's been super fun, and it's what's great, and maybe our expectations are getting too high, but I don't fear at all when the Padres fall behind at this point. It's just like, okay, that's interesting. The other team took the lead for a little while. Let's see how the Padres get back into this thing and continue to put pressure on the opposition. So it's been super fun to watch. Does it mean they're going to complete the comeback every single night? No, but my goodness, they have given us so much to get excited about, and you want to stay watching this ball club to the very last pitch.
Yeah, they certainly put themselves in position. They erased a 3-run 10th inning deficit on the last homestand in the game against the Nationals. You might remember Jurickson Profar's walk-off celebration last night, down by 3, going to the bottom of the 10th. They got a run, they loaded the bases with nobody out, and just couldn't quite finish the deal. As you said, not going to happen every single time. All right, so here today, Dylan Cease will go, Ryan Nelson will go. Both bullpens, you got to figure, pretty well beat up right now, and no added pressure, guys.
No, exactly. Like Torey Lovello and Mike Schilt both know that they've got limited bullpen access, and believe me, both starting pitchers know it as well. In fact, it's one of those things as a starting pitcher, it's not that you don't always come to the ballpark wanting to go 9 innings, right, and pitch a shutout and be efficient and do all those kinds of things, but there's certain days where you know that is absolutely paramount, and you almost take a sense of pride of, you know what, the team needs me, I'm going to step up. I'm going to be that guy. And it does sometimes affect the way that you approach on the pitching side in terms of, you know what, I've got an opportunity to put a guy away here. Instead, I'm just going to go for the contact and try to get some early outs. And it's a different way to manage a lineup sometimes. I'm not saying that that's how both of these guys are going to approach it. Dylan Cease is just a swing and miss guy. He's got that kind of stuff. But it is in your mind when there's certain decisions that you have to make over the course of a ball game, Jesse. I got to be efficient right here. I can't mess around. I've got to forget the strikeout, just go to the safe zone that I know I can go to get a ground ball, get some soft contact, get out of this inning, go deep in this ball game. But it is one of those things where, yeah, I want to be that guy, and I'm going to pick the team up today, and I'm looking forward to Dylan Cease doing that.
Yeah, well, it'll be kind of fascinating to track how both Cease and Nelson go about their business here this afternoon, knowing the situation is what the situation is. We'll take a break, come back. Scans has the starting lineups for you when we return on the Padres Radio Network.
Nobody likes an old, yuck, ugly bathroom, so contact Miramar Kitchen and Bath. They're the kitchen and bathroom remodel specialists. Call Miramar Kitchen and Bath at 858-271-8434.
Contractors license 657-333.
Miramar Kitchen and Bath.
Do you know anyone that suffered a serious injury in an auto or motorcycle accident? Bada Fulkerson Law Group helps individuals that suffer traumatic brain injuries, spine injuries, and other significant injuries caused by auto accidents and motorcycle accidents. If you ever know anyone that's in this situation, do not wait. Have them give us a call today, 619-333-5555. Our office is happy to meet with them at no charge to see if we can help. San Diego's favorite personal injury law firm, Bada Fulkerson.
Hi, I'm a helpful San Diego Honda person, and this is what happened when I called Katie with a random act of helpfulness.
I really just wanted to treat my mom.
moves home to Ohtani. Smashes a drive. Center field. Shohei Ohtani. We're gone.
Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Today's Diamondbacks starting lineup is brought to you by Palomar Health, recognized as the world's best hospital 6 years in a row and is stepping up to the plate to provide you with the best care. Visit palomarhealth.org to find a doctor. Well, let's take a look at the lineup put together by Torey Lovullo for his visiting Arizona Diamondbacks. Leading things off, playing right field, Corbin Carroll. Gabriel Moreno will do the catching today. He'll be batting second. Batting third and doing the designated hitting for the Diamondbacks will be Jock Peterson. Christian Walker will be in the cleanup spot. He'll be over at first base. Batting fifth, playing left field, Jake McCarthy. Geraldo Perdomo will be over at shortstop. He'll be batting sixth. In the seventh spot, playing third base, Eugenio Suarez. Alec Thomas is back in center field today. He'll be batting eighth. In the ninth spot, playing second base, is Kevin Newman. And on the mound, making his 14th start of the season, a 5-6 record, 5.42 earned run average, the right-hander, Ryan Nelson. That lineup again for the Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll in right field. Gabriel Moreno behind the plate. Jock Peterson, the designated hitter. Christian Walker at first. Jake McCarthy's in left field. Geraldo Perdomo at shortstop. Eugenio Suarez at third base. Alec Thomas in center field. Kevin Newman over at second. And the right-hander, Ryan Nelson, on the mound for Arizona. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineup for the San Diego Padres. You're listening to Padres Baseball right here on the Padres Radio Network.
Hello, Moto. Motorola is the official smartphone partner of the San Diego Padres. And with the Motorola Razr Plus, fans can flip the script on how they keep up on game day. Check scores with ease on the largest external display of any flip phone. Or flip open to an incredibly vivid 6.9-inch LED screen to stream games. Learn more about the ultra-modern, ultra-pocketable new Motorola Razr Plus at Motorola.com.
At Grand Jetto's Farm and Garden Supply, we believe great service starts with listening to the customer. We take the time to understand your landscaping projects. From the right soil to the right time to plant, we dig into your projects as much as you dig into your yard. Grand Jetto's, San Diego's farm and garden supply resource since 1952. When you've been doing it as long as we have, we don't have customers. We have family. Grand Jetto's is located in Encinitas, Escondido, Fallbrook, and online at grandjettos.com.
Taking care of myself is my #1 priority. That's why I have been taking Symbiotica. Symbiotica is the only supplement brand I trust. Their delicious, high-quality formulas make me feel alert, strong, and healthy every day. It's just what I need for my long days at the ballpark. The best part about Symbiotica supplements is that there's no junk, just quality ingredients to help you feel your best. Take control of your health today and head to Symbiotica.com and use code PADRES for 15% off plus free shipping. That's Symbiotica.com and code PADRES for 15% off and free shipping.
Hey, it's Rick from Rockin' Baja and Baja Rick's Cantina in the Gas Lamp, where the party never ends. Before or after the game, come on down and join the fiesta. It's time to meet, eat, and listen to great music with teeth-chilling beers, spicy margaritas, and your favorite tequilas. Or try a specialty michelada with one of our world-famous seafood buckets. It's worth rocking about. Now, let's play ball on the San Diego Padres Radio Network.
Hi, it's Joe Musgrove with the San Diego Padres. You're listening to Padres Baseball on the Padres Radio Network.
Today's Padres starting lineup is brought to you by Palomar Health, recognized as the world's best hospital 6 years in a row and is stepping up to the plate to provide you with the best care. Visit palomarhealth.org to find a doctor. Here's the lineup put together by Mike Schilt for the San Diego Padres. Luis Arias will be at first base. He'll be batting first. In the #2 spot in left field, Jurickson Profar. Jake Cronenworth will be at second base. He'll be batting third. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting today for the Padres, Manny Machado. Donovan Solano will be over at third base. He'll bat fifth. In the sixth spot playing center field, Jackson Merrill. David Peralta will be in right field today. He'll be batting seventh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Hassan Kim. In the ninth spot doing the catching, Luis Campusano. And on the mound making his 19th start of the season. A 7-7 record, 4.24 earned run average. The right-hander, Dylan Cease. Well, the Perfect Game Contest is brought to you by Ken Grody Ford. If our team pitches a perfect game today, Whitney Edwards of San Diego, you'll win a 2024 Ford F-150 truck. Courtesy of Ken Grody Ford of Carlsbad. Register now at 97.3thefan, SD.com/perfectgame. Corbin Carroll will lead things off for the Diamondbacks. And now for today's play-by-play. Here's Jesse.
All right, Bob, thank you very much, and great to be with you again on a beautiful afternoon downtown. Corbin Carroll in the left-handed box. Cease delivers and misses up and away at 97. Ball one. First pitch of the game brought to you by El Cajon Ford Service Center. Rubber game of this 3-game series between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Pods are 7-1 in rubber games this year. They've won 7 straight. Here's a foul ball off the catcher, Campusano. Count is even at 1-1 on Corbin Carroll. 0 for 5 yesterday and 2 for 10 in the first 2 games of this series, as his struggles continue this year, hitting only .210 with 2 home runs and 23 runs batted in. 1-1 from Cease is a changeup or maybe a curveball. Either way, it kind of floated in and stayed high and outside. 2 balls and a strike to Carroll. And Bob told you Dylan Cease 7-7 on the season, and kind of in an era now where the win-loss record for a pitcher doesn't generally tell you the entire story, but it kind of feels like it might with Dylan Cease. 2-1 hit hard in the air to right field and deep. Peralta kind of twisting around to watch. This one going to go just over the old wall in right field. A leadoff home run for Corbin Carroll, and the Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Well, that's a pitch that Corbin Carroll has struggled with most of the season, but we have seen him do some damage on the fastball upstairs at time versus the Padres. We saw it in the last series. Now the Padres have neutralized him so far, mostly in this series, until that pitch right there. That's the 3rd fastball that he saw up in the zone, and he finally said, you know what? It's not inside. It's up and out over. I think I can turn on this one, and he did.
So Arizona in front right at a jump street here. Now the catcher, Gabriel Moreno, will get in. Batting second with Ketel Marte on the bench again. And he fouls one back out of play for strike 1. So 1-0 Diamondbacks on Corbin Carroll's 3rd home run of the season. And I am sure down in that third base dugout right now, they are thinking, hoping, maybe some even praying that that's the thing that gets him going. Here's a ground ball slowly to shortstop. Kim waits for it, collects it. Throws low to first, but handled by Arise. And 1 out in the top of the first inning. Game time temperature 75 degrees, brought to you by Lineage Watch Company, the official timepiece of the Padres radio network. Designed, engineered, and purpose-built in the USA. Define your legacy today at lineagewatchco.com. 75, no clouds, blue sky baseball here downtown, and currently 36 degrees cooler than Phoenix, where it is 111 degrees. Jock Peterson gets in, takes a fastball strike, 0-1.
Would you say it's perfect here, Jesse?
Yes, I would. I absolutely would. And I think you would too, and everybody else sitting down there. 1 out, nobody on, 1-0 D-backs in the top of the first. All right, I was trying to talk about Dylan Cease's win-loss record. Here's the 0-1. And Peterson takes a good breaking ball for a strike at the knees. 7-7. Now, not to say that all 7 wins have been great starts and all 7 losses have been terrible starts, but it kind of has been that inconsistency at times for Dylan this year. Ahead 0-2, and the pitch to the left-handed hitter is in the dirt, ball 1.
I think that's a fair assessment, and obviously he got off to the hot start, and then the last 10 games, you look at the earned run average of 6.15, and I don't think that necessarily reflects how he's thrown in all of those outings. He's had 5 outings during that stretch where he gave up 3 earned runs or less.
1-2, low again.
So it's been a mixed bag, but certainly the outings that have not gone well have been high-run situations, and he's just not been as consistent. And we talked a little bit about it in the pregame show, about him getting to his lanes with his fastball.
Ground ball foul right side.
And that's going to be key for him. And that's exactly what he did early in the season. And one of the indicators also, Jesse, when he's doing that, it makes his slider that much better. And one of the outcomes of that is his domination of right-hand batters. Now, during that stretch where he wasn't commanding as well, the righties were hitting .315 against him, which is way out of character for Dylan Cease.
2-2 to Jock Peterson is low, ball 3.
But now the last 3 games, when he started to make some of these adjustments that we've talked about being more consistent, getting to the left and the right side of the plate with the fastball, the right-handers are back down to hitting .200. So that's a good sign for me in terms of how effectively is using the fastball to be able to set up that good slider. If you're not commanding the fastball, guys are going to check it off, and they're just going to hunt for that other pitch.
Trouble for him last time out Tuesday at Texas. The command of everything really seemed to be off. 3-2 to Peterson, swung on, hit in the air to left center field, not too deep. Profar and Merrill both in the vicinity. It'll be the center fielder Merrill into the gap to make the catch, 2 away. Lasted 3 2/3 against the Rangers, gave up 6 runs on 8 hits.
Well, the Diamondbacks cleanup hitter is brought to you by Soapy Joe's Car Wash, now at 23 San Diego locations and more on the way. The official car wash of the San Diego Padres is Soapy Joe's. Good, clean fun.
Base is empty, 2 down for Walker. 22 home runs to lead the Diamondbacks, including 5 in his last 5 games. Here's the first pitch. Walker swings, pops it up foul out of play left side. Of course, all 5 of those took place in their 3-game series at Dodger Stadium before they arrived here in San Diego. Pods pretty much held him in check the entirety of each of the first 2 games until the 10th inning last night. And against a drawn-in infield, he kind of rolled one up the middle and got it through for a 2-run single. That was the difference in the game. Swings and misses at a sweeper here, and he's behind 0-2.
It's interesting. I saw those numbers and the home runs at domination against the Dodgers, so I went back and I looked at all the pitches that he hit for home runs, thinking, okay, where is he crushing the ball? And honestly, every single one of them was just a cookie right down the middle. Late in the count, he'd seen a lot of pitches, and here it is, a fastball down the middle, a hanging slider, whatever it may be. Now, that's still credit to him for hitting it out of the ballpark, but he wasn't hitting tough pitches.
Ball in the dirt, 1-2.
Point being is there's certain guys when they're hot and you know that there's a zone that you can go to or need to be careful with, you know, you're going to adjust accordingly. But when you just see a guy hitting mistakes after mistake, it's like, okay, let's not give him too much credit. Let's just make quality pitches, and that's for the most part what the Padres have done this series.
Ball and 2 strikes to Walker this time around. And a swing and a miss. Got him to chase a fastball up at 98. And that'll end the top of the first inning. Diamondbacks get 1 on their 6th leadoff home run of the season. Corbin Carroll with the honors. Padres coming up against Ryan Nelson on the Padres Radio Network.
Now that baseball season is in full swing.
Torres an RBI double as well as a booming solo home run last night. A fly ball, it's deep to left field. Badu racing back, looking up. It is gone. Home run for Gleyber Torres. Torres has homered in back-to-back games at Comerica Park. It's his 22nd this season, and it puts the Yankees on the board first. They're ahead 1-0.
And that went 454 feet, went out at 108 miles an hour. 454 feet. That was a shot.
We do not mess up your name. We pride ourselves here on MLB Central.
That's right.
Right?
That's
on
right.
getting them right. We have a little game for you. Are you ready? Blow or Lau had his first big league hit against Nathan Eovaldi.
Wow.
No.
Oh.
Your first knock's Eovaldi?
Off the end of the bats.
That's 1-0 after Corbin Carroll had his second leadoff home run of the season. Padres have had a couple leadoff homers. Batter's box. Nelson steps back and deals. And the right-hander's first pitch is a fastball strike right down the middle, 0-1. Nelson is kind of an interesting study when you dive into all the numbers. He is a hard-throwing right-hander who really doesn't strike anybody out. Here's the 0-1. And Arise gets a breaking ball that misses high. And it's not often you see a guy in today's day and age who can throw the ball 95 miles an hour with regularity but not collect strikeouts. And that's pretty much Ryan Nelson. 1-1, the pitch. And Arise swings, lines it foul the other way, strike 2.
Yeah, it is a pretty interesting case study, right? Only 49 strikeouts and 73 innings pitched. He just doesn't miss very many bats. And to your point, Jesse, with all the technology they have today, they really do a lot to try to help guys to shape their fastballs to get it where you need it to be. If you're a high spin rate guy, we can elevate that thing. We can do things to get you to have more carry. If you're not, if you're a sinker guy, that's fine. Figure it out and work with whatever you have.
1-2, Arise fouls it back.
But what's interesting is not only does he not get much swing and miss on the fastball, but additionally, he's really struggled with his secondary pitches. And granted, no matter how good your fastball is, as we talked about with Dylan Cease, if you're not doing something with your secondaries, and that's been an equally challenging issue for Nelson, trying to find breaking pitches that he can use to complement that heater.
1-2 again, and Arise takes outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And they've done a bunch of work. During this offseason, they changed his mechanics. They added on 2 or 3 inches to his release point. They messed around with his slider and his changeup to try to get more swing and miss, but so far none of it's really been able to stick.
2-2, Arise hits it foul the other way. So right out of the chute here, a longer at bat already against Luis Arise. We said getting ahead not necessarily the issue for Ryan Nelson, but putting guys away can be a real challenge. Getting more ground balls now than he has in the past, but certainly not a ground ball guy. So it can be treacherous out there. And here another foul ball right at the plate. Count remains 2-2. So he's going to go to at least 8 pitches against Luis Arise to lead off here in the bottom of the first inning. And this is not Arise's usual MO.
No, and this is just a great focus on what Nelson's challenge is in terms of trying to put guys away even when he gets ahead.
2-2, hard hit on the ground, right to the second baseman Newman. He's got it, and the throw to first is in time. So a long battle won by Nelson. And 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Took 8 pitches to get Arise to ground out.
And to your point, Jesse, it's not that he doesn't get ahead of guys. He does. But then trying to put guys away has been a huge challenge for him. When he's ahead in the count, batters are still hitting 275. I mean, to give you some perspective of that, the rest of the league, it's 202. So getting ahead is one thing, but you got to finish them off. It's been an issue.
Here's Profar, switch hitter batting left-handed. 1 out, nobody on. And he takes a fastball, strike, 0-1. We have seen a lot of times this year against a guy like this, the Padres will be very, very aggressive early in the count. Maybe a different game plan here this afternoon. Here's the 0-1. And Profar takes again, this time a little bit high for a ball and a strike. We don't often see Arise working at bat that way and take a pitch. Saw Profar take a fastball that was pretty much right down the middle. And with the Diamondback bullpen pretty beat up here, maybe that's all part of the plan. 1-1 is up and in, 2 balls and a strike.
I think that's some of the plan, but really to your initial point, if you can't put guys away as a hitter, you've got nothing to fear. So it's not as though I want to jump on something early in the count because I sure don't want to get to that breaking ball that you're going to punch me out with. It doesn't exist here.
2-1 is low and outside, ball 3 to Profar. Padres down 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. But Profar has gone 3-1 on Ryan Nelson. Steps back, kicks, and deals. And jerks it, hits it in the air to deep right field. Carroll's going back. He's going to watch, and it's going to go. Home run right over the fence in right field. So a leadoff homer in the top of the inning for Corbin Carroll. A 1-out homer for Profar in the bottom of the inning. And a 1-1 game here in the first.
Great job by the Padres to answer right away. And, of course, it's your all-star Jurickson Profar getting it done. 4-seam fastball, not great location. As we talked about, he doesn't miss a whole lot of bats, and he didn't miss the barrel of Jurickson Profar. Fastball intended away. Ends up middle. Jurickson puts it into the seats.
Now that's something to smile about. Brought to you by the Grilling Store at Hillcrest Ace Hardware, the official grilling store of the Padres Radio Network. For all your grilling needs, visit them on University Avenue in Hillcrest or at thegrillingstoresd.com. 1 out, nobody on, tied at 1. Jake Cronenworth will be the batter. Left-handed hitter again against Ryan Nelson. First pitch curveball drops in and just nicks the top of the zone. A called strike, 0-1. Cronenworth 2 for 5 in the game last night, and that beautiful bunt in the 7th inning. It helped the Padres get to within a run. A 1 pitch hit hard and foul up the first baseline. So Jake hit an 0-2 hole here. Padres appear very, very comfortable in the early going against Ryan Nelson, whom they are facing for the 3rd time this season. On 0-2, Nelson ready. Here's the pitch. And Cronenworth takes high, a ball and 2 strikes. Saw Nelson here about a month ago, June 8th. Didn't get out of the 4th inning. Allowed 6 runs on 6 hits. He walked 4 guys, which was very unlike him. Here's the 1-2. And Cronenworth fouls it back out of play. We'll do it again. Padres won that game 13-1. Maybe all you need to know about that night is that Pavin Smith was on the mound in the bottom of the 8th inning for Arizona. His other start against the Padres this year was May 5th back at Chase Field. He pitched okay in 5 innings. 1-2. Cronenworth swings and misses strike 3. Chased a high cutter. And 2 down here in the bottom of the 1st inning. He wasn't dominant, but the Diamondbacks put up a lot of runs, and their bullpen was good as they went on to beat the Padres in that game 11-4.
And the Padres cleanup hitter is brought to you by Soapy Joe's Car Wash, now at 23 San Diego locations and more on the way. The official car wash of the San Diego Padres is Soapy Joe's. Good, clean fun.
Manny Machado celebrated his 32nd birthday last night with an RBI single. Is the cleanup hitter. He swings at the first pitch and fouls the fastball back for strike 1. Manny 5 for 9 in the first 2 games of the series. Had the walk-off home run on Friday, and has the batting average now up to 270, dozen homers and 50 runs batted in. 2 outs, bases empty, 1-1 game. Machado swings again, pops it up, foul ground first base. Walker over, but not a lot of room there. And that'll come down in the 4th row, a couple of sections beyond the Padre dugout. And Machado behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Manny DHing this afternoon here at Petco after 4 consecutive starts at third base. 0-2 from Nelson. Here's the pitch on the way. And Manny swings, pops it up. Behind the plate, Moreno coming back near the on-deck area, right side, has room. And he makes the catch to end the inning. Padres get 1 on Jurickson Profar's 14th home run of the season. And to the 2nd inning at Petco, 1-1 against the D-backs on the Padres Radio Network.
Looking for the best in HVAC? Choose AirMax, San Diego's highest rated heating and air company, with free diagnostics on all repairs.
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find Pete Alonso in this sea of Mets fans?
And Alonso drives one deep left field, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his 2nd home run of the day. Pete Alonso keeps on raking. He's just very strong.
And there he is.
And it's a 3-1 Brewers lead, and now here's Willie Adames. High fly ball, deep center field. Varsho's back, track, bye, baseball. Willie Adames with an exclamation point here in the 6th. A 2-run shot. It's 5-1 Crew on Willie's 11th of the season. And yes, the floodgates have opened at American Family Field. And he demolished that baseball 446 feet out to center.
Hit 1, McCarthy, Perdomo, and Suarez. 5, 6, 7 for Arizona coming up against Dylan Cease. Pair of solo homers in this game, Corbin Carroll and Jurickson Profar. Now McCarthy, a left-handed hitter, and he takes the first pitch curveball for a strike, 0-1. McCarthy off the bench in game 1 of the series on Friday night as a pinch hitter. Started in center field yesterday. He's out in left field here this afternoon. 0-1, and he fouls it at the plate. Arizona wrapping up a road trip that ran through Dodger Stadium. They took 2 out of 3 there, really had the opportunity to sweep. Paul Sewald blew a save in game 1 in Los Angeles. Ryan Nelson was in line for the win, didn't end up getting it. Here's the 0-2 And McCarthy takes in the dirt, but really all 5 games the Diamondbacks have played on this road trip, 3 in LA and the first 2 here this weekend, have been absolutely bonkers kinds of games. And we have been wildly entertained in the first 2 games of this series. 1-2 to the left-handed hitter. Cease out of his wind-up kicks and deals, and a line drive right back up the middle and over the leap of Ha-Seong Kim into center field. A leadoff base hit here in the second inning.
Backdoor slider to McCarthy. Was trying to go down and in with it, actually, but missed out over. Allowed McCarthy to line it into center field. That was sort of an issue for Dylan Cease early in the season. His ability to locate that slider into the lefties wasn't doing it as well as he'd like to. Let's see if he figures it out today.
Switch hitter Geraldo Perdomo batting left-handed takes a fastball strike. Perdomo 2 for 5 yesterday. RBI triple in the 7th. Had that bunt in the 10th inning that you could probably argue unlocked the top of the 10th for the Diamondback offense. The 1 pitch hit hard, skips off the mound over to Kim. He's got it. Steps on second, 1, throw to first in time, and a double play. So just like that, 2 outs and nobody aboard.
There you go. A little bit better located slider. Kept it down in the zone. Gets the ground ball that he wants. Nicely done.
That's now twice in this series we have seen Kim bring it himself on one of those double play balls up the middle. After he tried to force one to Cronenworth at the end of the road trip. Perfectly done there. And Eugenio Suarez will bat with nobody aboard. First pitch is hit hard the other way. That's into right field and a base hit. Second knock of the inning for the Diamondbacks. This one a 2-out single. So Suarez not waiting around against Dylan Cease. Got a first pitch fastball sent it the other way.
Yeah, you get the sense just based on the home run by Carroll, the base hit right there by Suarez. They're hunting for the fastball up in the zone, which isn't a bad strategy against Dylan Cease. You know you're going to get some up there.
Here's the left-hand hitting Alec Thomas. Had a grand slam in the 9th inning on Friday night, and he takes low ball 1.
Not that it's easy just to get to that pitch, even if you're looking for it, though, Jesse, because it has such good late life and carry on it. A lot of times it's a sucker's play, but they've been able to get to a couple of them here in the early going.
Thomas has played only 8 games this season. A left hamstring strain got him right at the start of the season. Missed a bunch of time. Here's the 1-0, and he'll take slider at the top of the zone for a strike, 1-1. Started in center on Friday night. That 9th inning grand slam got them to within a run. A couple of batters later, Randall Grichuk hit a 2-run homer in the pinch. That put them ahead, and the Padres stormed right back to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. All-timer. 1-1 pitch hit right to first base. Arise has it on the short hop, steps on the bag, and just like that, the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on base after 1.5. Tied at 1 with the Diamondbacks, and now here's what's happening at Valley View Casino.
Brett Rooker joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here? That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches. And I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think God, he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
can you find Bo Bichette in this photo of Blue Jays fans?
Bo Bichette keeps going to another level, and this guy's just getting better and better and better.
And it is gone. Boy, is this a good sign for the Blue Jays and their chances if Bo gets it going again.
Bo's playing with a lot of confidence right now. One of the best hitters in the game.
And there he is.
Ryan McMahon back at the plate. Solano, Merrill, and Peralta in the second inning for the Padres against Ryan Nelson of the Diamondbacks. 1-1 game here at Petco Park. And Donnie Doubles will get in. A couple more two-baggers yesterday, including one to bring home a run in the 10th inning. Kind of a forgotten moment in that game, as the Padres did get a run across in extras. First pitch is a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1, and down by 2 in the 10th inning yesterday. The Padres had the bases loaded and nobody out. But Johnson, Kim, and Higashioka came up, couldn't get the runs home, and that was that. One pitch, Solano takes low and outside, a ball and a strike.
You know what's so fun about that plate appearance last night is that he's such a professional hitter and does such a good job of hitting opposite field that even when he's facing a right-hand reliever in the bullpen throwing 97 miles an hour, you know that he can still put together a quality plate appearance for you.
1-1 is high and tight.
And he did that and did some damage opposite field, hitting it over the head of Corbin Carroll. But that's just sort of that experienced veteran approach that I think has been a great addition to this ball club.
Second time in the last 3 games yesterday. He's had 2 doubles in one game. Bounces this one towards third. Ooh, just foul. Suarez reaching across the line for it, couldn't get it. And now 2-2 on Solano, who in 47 games is a Padre, is hitting .291, 3 homers, 19 runs batted in, and yes, 9 doubles. Not bad for a 36-year-old who took a little bit of time to sign, didn't hook on with the Padres until mid-April. 2-2 from Ryan Nelson, the pitch. And Solano swings and misses. Strike 3, a little late, had him reaching for a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Second strikeout of the day, and 1 down in the bottom of the second inning.
You know, he talked about some of the things that Ryan Nelson was trying to do during the offseason to get more swings and misses, but something that he's actually changed in the last week and a half, Jesse, is his stride length and his leg kick.
Jackson Merrill, a left-handed batter, hit a 2-run homer against Nelson back in May at Chase Field. Swings here, hits one hard into right. That's a base hit. Carroll plays it awkwardly on one bounce, but able to get it in. Jackson Merrill, a 1-out single here in the bottom of the second inning of a tie game.
Jackson wasting no time, getting an off-speed pitch middle of the plate, just jumping all over it. But the adjustment that Nelson has been trying to make, Jesse, is felt like the leg kick was getting a little bit too extreme, a little too exaggerated, and causing him to reach too far down the mound, which was causing his arm to drag, which was making it difficult to stay on top of the ball. So he cleaned that up, tightened it up a little bit, and he felt like he had better downward action, able to get over that front leg better in his last outing versus the Dodgers.
Left-handed hitting David Peralta gets in, looks at a fastball strike.
Now, whether or not it actually worked, who knows, but certainly the results were there. 5 innings, only 1 run allowed. That's something to keep an eye on in today's contest.
Merrill at first, 1 down, tied at 1 in the bottom of the second inning. No balls and a strike to Peralta. The pitch is hit hard but foul the other way. Behind the third base dugout, and now 0-2 on the longtime Diamondback. Peralta nearly 1,000 games in the Arizona uniform. Began his career as a pitcher in the Cardinal organization. Back in the mid-aughts, he and Mike Schilt crossed paths on more than one occasion back in those days. Here's the 0-2, and Peralta hits it in the air down the left field line. That'll fade foul into the seats.
Such a great story, isn't it?
Yeah, Schilt recalled Peralta saying, you know, Schilty, I can hit a little bit. and Schilt's response, obviously, was, yeah, all the pitchers say that.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, the guy has a shoulder injury, no more pitching, indie ball, out of baseball, reinvents himself as a position player and gets to the big leagues with the Diamondbacks. 0-2 hit hard on the ground up the middle. To his right, the second baseman Newman has it. Glove flip to Perdomo 1, and on to first in time. A beautiful double play to end the second inning. No runs, a hit after that. Nobody left. 1-1 to the third against the Diamondbacks.
today is 0 for 1 with a walk.
As this one launched towards center. Doyle going back. He's in the track. He's not getting that one. That one's burned bound. It's a one-run game. That was a tape measure shot.
436 feet to dead center field. He had to jump on 99 at the top of the zone. You know how fast your hands have to be to get to that. Got the barrel going, and that got out in a hurry.
Clark must have gotten that one right on the screws because you're right, that carried very well to center field.
97.3 The Fan, SD.com/question.
1-1 game, start of the third inning. Kevin Newman will lead off. And then top of the order, Corbin Carroll and Gabriel Moreno. Newman making his second straight start at second base. Ketel Marte dealing with a bad back. Poway high guy had a nice night last night. Trying to bunt here, pulls it back, ends up taking a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Newman an RBI single in his first AB. Couple of hits, a sac bunt. Run scored, did a little bit of everything, and obviously playing very solid defense at second base. 0-1 hit hard right to the third baseman Solano and kind of down to one knee. He makes the catch, one away. Top of the third brought to you by Cask and Coast Premium California Bourbon. Winners of 4 gold medals harvested in the heartland, crafted in California, and enjoyed everywhere. Visit them at caskandcoast.com. Base is empty, 1 out for Corbin Carroll, led off the game with a home run. First pitch on the way to the left-handed batter is taken and a little bit high but called a strike. 0-1 to Carroll. 0 for 5 yesterday, but homered to begin the game here this afternoon. That's got to feel good. 1 pitch from Cease is that Ephus change that floats high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. We saw him throw a couple of those in his last start in Texas to Nathaniel Lowe. Ended up paying for one of them dearly. And we'll see how comfortable he is with the pitch today. 1-1 is fouled off the catcher Camposano, strike 2.
It was interesting. He went 2 of those changeups to Lowe, which you don't normally see. It's kind of one of those pitches that he'll bust out, 2 or 3 times a game, and it's kind of fun. It comes in 68 to 70 miles an hour, but to see him throw it twice to a batter was unusual, and unfortunately the second one left the ballpark.
1-2 to Carroll in the dirt. Yeah, the second one ended up just kind of floating right into Nathaniel Lowe's happy spot.
Yep.
Would hit a pair of 2-run home runs against Cease, and so you might say that, well, if not for Nathaniel Lowe, would have been a great start from Dylan the other night in Texas. And of course, is not how it works. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 to Corbin Carroll, the pitch. And Carroll swings and misses, strike 3. Good curveball, and the second K of the day for Cease.
I love that knuckle curveball. It's coming into the season. I'm sort of studying Dylan Cease and looking at his pitches, and obviously it's fastball, slider heavy, and understandable because both those pitches, when they're on, they're almost unhittable. But in the background was this curveball. You start looking at the shape of it and the numbers behind it and how effective it's been. You're thinking, man, that would be another guy's #1 breaking ball.
Moreno gets in with 2 outs, nobody on, takes a slider strike.
He's just not needed to use it that much because the other things have been so dominant, but it's nice to know that he has it in there. And there have been times where we've seen him go to it, especially second or third time through lineups.
1 to Moreno, hit hard on a line to left field, pretty much right at Jurickson. Profar reaches down, makes the catch at his shoe tops, and a 1-2-3 third for Dylan Cease after 2.5. Padres and Diamondbacks tied at 1, and now here's what's happening at Valley View Casino and Hotel.
And here's another one I believe went off the scoreboard. If you miss in the middle of the plate with Max Muncy, he's good. Look at that level swing right there. And he's a hitter. But what I love, watch him drop. What he does is he moves his hands and he loads into the back leg. Here you see the knob facing the catcher, which I really love because that's the power position for any power hitter.
Skins featuring Musgrove and Campusano on Sunday, July 14th. Learn more at Padres.com/theme games.
Ha-Seong Kim, Luis Campusano, Luis Arise, 8-9-1 against Ryan Nelson here in a 1-1 game, third inning. Kim stands in for the first time today. Nelson delivers, and a swing with a foul ball straight back. Might have caught a piece of the home plate umpire, Alex McKay, strike one. Kim only 2 for 13 in his career here against Ryan Nelson. However, one of those 2 was a 3-run home run against Nelson in his start here last month. No balls and a strike. Nelson steps back, kicks and deals, and the pitch to Kim is upstairs at 95 miles an hour. 1-1 to the Padres shortstop. Kim 3 for 5 yesterday, couple of doubles, and a run batted in, 3 for 9 in the series. It was his first 3-hit game since late March. 1-1, trying to bunt, ends up pulling back and taking a strike. So the count goes to 1-2 on Ha-Seong Kim. Teams played a 4-game series here last month. They split it 2 games apiece. Kim had 3 hits in those 4 games, and all 3 were homers, including that 3-run shot here against Ryan Nelson. Tied at 1 in the bottom of the third. A ball and 2 strikes to Ha-Seong Kim. Nelson ready to go. Now the pitch. And Kim swings and misses. Strike 3. Got him to chase 96 up out of the zone. Third strikeout of the day for Ryan Nelson. And 1 away in the bottom of the third inning.
It was a steady dive. Fastball, slider, fastball all the way. That's been sort of the MO by the Diamondbacks this entire series with Ha-Seong Kim. Not wanting to give him anything on the inside part of the plate to do any kind of damage with, and they've done a pretty good job of keeping him neutralized.
Here's Luis Campusano, first start since June 20th against Milwaukee. Been on the IL with a thumb soreness, I believe is what it was called. Swings at the first pitch, lines it foul down the right field side, 0-1. Came off the bench as a pinch hitter yesterday, flew out in the 7th inning. An opportunity to start here today and work with Dylan Cease. Bases empty, 1 out, tie game, bottom of the third inning. Here's the 0-1 from Nelson. Campusano winds up, lines it into center field. Alec Thomas, though, covers a lot of ground. And coming in into his left, he makes the catch, 2 away. Who's hot, who's not? Brought to you by Tarpey Plumbing, Heating and Air, San Diego's top choice for HVAC and plumbing service. Byron Buxton of the Twins, hot. .415 average, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. And his last 41 at-bats, 12 of his last 17 hits have gone for extra bases. Not hot, the former Diamondback, Paul Goldschmidt, over in St. Louis. Here's Luis Arise, and he takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. Goldie's been struggling all season, and over his last 54 at-bats, hitting only .204 on the year, hitting .226. Career .290 hitter, Paul Goldschmidt. 0-1, and that's muscled foul in the air behind home plate. And into the booth. Nice play by who else? The great catcher, Carlos Hernandez.
That away, Carlos.
Nothing in 2 to Arise. Nelson trying for a 1-2-3 inning. And the pitch way outside, 1-2.
You know, go back to the who's hot, who's not. One is a surprise, one is not, I would say. I mean, you don't ever expect Paul Goldschmidt to have that kind of a year, especially in a walk year for himself. But Byron Buxton on the other side, we've been expecting that for a long time if he would just stay healthy, and finally he is.
Yeah, the health has always been a key thing for him, just oozing with talent. 1-2 to Arise. Line foul the other way. Luis had a long battle with Nelson to begin the first inning. And this kind of feels like the start of another one here. Got ahead 0-2, but Arise being pesky. He eventually grounded out in the first, but it came on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Next guy up, Profar, hit a home run. 1-2. Here's pitch number 5 in this AB. Swung on, popped up, left side of the diamond, foul territory. Moreno and Suarez both there. Awkward spot and underhanded Suarez. The third baseman comes in and makes the catch on the side warning track in front of the Diamondback dugout. So it is.
Blue Jays have taken the lead, and here's Guerrero. And Vladdy launches one. Deep left field and gone. It disappears into the Boston night. A booming 3-run homer for Vladimir Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 471 feet. The longest ball he has hit this year. You want to talk about a no-doubter. My goodness, Joe, that's the longest home run of his career. Wow. Not just this year.
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find Bobby Witt Jr. in this photo of Royals fan?
Bobby Witt Jr. has an inside-the-park home run.
Congrats in order for Bobby Witt Jr. becoming the first Royal player to record 30 home runs and steal 30. Salvador Perez said, "I've never seen anything like this."
What a play by Witt Jr. Sensational again.
And there he is.
We do not mess up your name. We pride ourselves here on MLB.
Game start of the fourth inning. Jock Peterson, Christian Walker, and Jake McCarthy, the teeth of the Arizona Diamondback batting order coming up against Dylan Cease. Gave up a solo homer to lead off the game for Corbin Carroll, and nothing much since. Jock, a left-handed hitter, 0 for 1. He flew out to center field in the first inning. And the first pitch from Cease this go-round is low, 1 ball. And no strikes. Peterson now 3 for 9 in his career against Cease with a couple of doubles. 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. He did hit a home run here in Game 1 of the series. 1-0 pitch. Peterson takes on the outside corner. Good curveball and a called strike 1-1. And you mentioned it last inning, but Cease seems to be using that pitch early and often here against the Diamondbacks.
Well, I like it, especially in a day where it seems like the fastball for the most part has been up in the zone.
Pitch to Peterson is up and out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike.
And I think some of it we always see with Dylan is by design. I'm not sure all of it today is. I think the fastball is playing up more than maybe he wants at times. But if you can complement it with that curveball, it's going to tunnel in about the same spot. It could be a wicked combination.
2-1 to Peterson is on the inside corner and a called strike 2-2.
So like that pitch right there, he was actually trying to go down away, but he misses upstairs if it gets away with it. But something to keep an eye on the fastball command is his ability to locate down when he wants to as this game goes on.
2-2 to Peterson, fouled away out of play left side. Dylan making his second start of the year against the Diamondbacks, pitched in Phoenix back in early May, got the win. One of his better starts of the season, 6 2/3. A run on 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 8. 2-2 to Peterson, kind of golfed foul the other direction, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both starting pitchers here this afternoon have to this point been very efficient. They have both also been very much in the zone. A lot of strikes by both Cease and Nelson. 2-2 to Jock Peterson, the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Got him to chase a backup slider. 3rd strikeout for Dylan Cease. 1 away here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, that worked out well, didn't it? He was trying to go with the slider down and in to complement the fastball that he'd just thrown inside, and instead it backs up on him, but fooled Jock Peterson. Sometimes you don't throw the right pitch, Jesse, but the hitter is anticipating it to go in a certain direction based on the spin that he thinks he sees, and it does something different. Not by anybody's design, but it works to the pitcher's benefit.
This pitch to Christian Walker is a fastball swung on and missed. 98 in the zone, nothing in 1.
I remember Ryan Sandberg used to hate backup sliders. You know, that's usually a pitch the guys crush. He said, if I ever wanted to be a pitcher, the first pitch I'd teach myself is the backup slider.
The 1 pitch is fouled back. What I'd always heard, and you just kind of alluded to it, is that it's almost always an accident when that breaking ball backs up on you. Can you actually teach yourself to do it?
I knew a couple of guys that threw them by design, but for the most part, they don't work. I mean, for the most part, the reason you're not trying to throw them is because they're off speed. They end up on the opposite side of the plate that you're anticipating, and you've set the guy up to look to the other side, and the next thing you know, you're going right into a sweet spot. So there are certain guys for whom that pitch might be effective, but you got to figure out who that guy is, and then trust yourself to throw one of those. That if it gets burned, that's a tough one to sleep with at night.
Makes a lot of sense. 0-2 to Walker, 1 out, nobody on, and a little bit outside with a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When it comes out of your hand, do you feel like, oh, that didn't do the right thing, it's going to end up backing up, or do you really not know until it gets there?
It can be either one.
Okay. Tied at 1 in the 4th inning, a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Walker. They swung on and tipped into the catcher's mitt. Strike 3. Got him to go after the slider that time, and back-to-back Ks for Dylan Cease here in the 4th.
Now that's one when I'm sure when it came out of Dylan's hand, he felt good about it. It leaves your fingertips just right. You know you got around, you stayed on top of it. It's going right down the lane that you wanted, and you just know, oh, I got a swing and miss coming up on this one. There's other times, Jesse, where it comes out of your hand, and you just know, oh, that didn't come out quite on the fingertip the way I wanted it to, and those are the ones where you hope you're not backing up third.
Jake McCarthy, a left-handed hitter, takes a curveball for strike 1. So much you can control, so much you cannot control in this great game. A lot of life lessons there. Fouled back 0-2.
That's one of the things I love so much about this game, and maybe you as well. To me, it most represents life, just like you described.
Without question. And you spend enough time following baseball closely, you can learn a lot about how to handle, whatever comes your way in real life. Foul ball on 0-2. So McCarthy stays alive, single to lead off the 2nd inning, but was quickly erased on a double play ball. Very well-pitched game so far by both Dylan Cease and Ryan Nelson, despite the 1st inning home runs they each allowed. Tied at 1 here in the 4th inning. Time for a 1-2-3 frame. 0-2, and the pitch to McCarthy fouled back off the end of the bat. Got the curveball again and gets enough of it to stay alive. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Cease up to 4 strikeouts on the day now. He's got the 2nd most in the National League. Tyler Glasnow of the Dodgers, the only guy with more strikeouts. Here's the 0-2 again. That's muscled in the air. Shallow center. Jackson Merrill charging in, dives forward, and he can't make the catch. McCarthy trying to speed his way to second base, and he gets in just ahead of the tag from Cronenworth. So kind of a bloop double for Jake McCarthy. And the Diamondbacks, for the first time today, have a guy standing at second base.
Yeah, well-executed pitch. He went upstairs by design with the fastball, got the little jam shot that he wanted. Unfortunately, Jackson Merrill, who has been playing rather deep, just had too far to go. Good effort to try to make the slide, and credit to McCarthy. Right out of the box, he thought to himself, you know what, I might be able to get 2 out of this, gets himself into scoring position with 2 outs.
It was actually in and out of Merrill's glove. It kind of popped out as he dove forward. Tremendous effort. And now Geraldo Perdomo with a runner in scoring position takes in the dirt. Good block, Campusano. Ball 1. And we'll pause for station identification on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Luis Campusano. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 station, 97.3 The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station.
With Bob Scanlon and our producer-engineer Dave Marcus, I'm Jesse Agler. Padres and Diamondbacks 1-1 in the 4th inning. Runner on second, 2 outs for Arizona. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Geraldo Perdomo, and a ground ball foul right side. That'll even it up 1-1. Perdomo grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning. And now taking the first at bat of the day for either team with a runner in scoring position. 1-1. And a swing and a miss just late on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, inner third, 1-2. Cease has certainly been able to overpower the Diamondbacks on a couple of occasions early on this afternoon. Runner on second, 2 outs, 1-1 game, top of the 4th inning. A ball and 2 strikes to Geraldo Perdomo. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Cease ready. Here's the pitch. And take in a little low at 97. Count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perdomo, one of those Diamondbacks that missed a bunch of time this year with injury. Tore his meniscus at the very start of the season. He was out from April 3rd all the way until June 11th. All-star last year at shortstop. Here's the 2-2. Perdomo swings, pops it up, foul out of play behind the plate. Speaking of the All-Star game, the rosters will be announced coming up later this afternoon. We know that Jurickson Profar and Fernando Tatis Jr. have been elected as starters, and certainly there are some other Padres in range. We'll find out shortly.
Yeah, Luis Arraez, Robert Suarez, Manny Machado. We talked about Jackson Merrill a little bit, what he's done amongst the rest of the center fielders. So who knows?
Now back again, still 2-2. Yeah, the case we made last night for Jackson Merrill is that you look at the rankings of other center fielders, and that's really what the All-Star game's about, right? How do you compare to the other guys at your position? I mean, he's basically top of the list in every significant category.
Yeah, and Christian Yelich was the only other candidate to play center field who he got in and deserved it, so congratulations to him, but got to have a backup also.
2-2 to Perdomo, pitch 7 of the at-bat on the way, and a ground ball foul right side. Rookies can be tough, but he just won Rookie of the Month. I think he kind of broke through a little bit nationally during that torrid June. Got a lot of attention. That never hurts. So we'll see. The way the reserves are selected these days, by the way, it's a little bit of a nebulous process. It's kind of a combination of coaches and managers and also the Major League Baseball front office. 2-2, the pitch to Perdomo, fouled back again, and we'll do it again.
It felt like previously, Jesse, that the manager of the team had a lot more say in some of those decisions, and I think some people felt that it was getting a little too political, maybe, in terms of guys taking care of their own players, which you understand. They've got to, they see those guys on a daily basis and have to be in the clubhouse with them for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it kind of removes that potentiality, at least. Another 2-2, pitch number 9 of the at-bat, and Perdomo grounds it foul again. This one, I think, got a piece of his foot. I can understand, like, all right, if I'm the manager of the All-Star team, you know, I win the pennant last year, I don't know that I would necessarily want to be kind of the final vote on any selections to the All-Star roster, because like you said, you got to take care of your own team. That's what you're worried about the rest of the time. You also know that you're more familiar with other guys in your division, maybe, than on the other coast. And it just sort of allows you an opportunity to step back and be like, hey, not my call.
Yeah, I think maybe in a way it's better not to have that decision put on the guy's shoulder. The other part of it is you may know one of your guys needs some time off. You may know a guy on another team doesn't need time off. You know, it's like, so there's a lot of shenanigans that could be played in that situation, both good and bad. But yeah, probably better to take some of that power away.
So anyway, the rest of the All-Star rosters will be announced coming up, I think, beginning at the bottom of the hour. Little mound visit there, just give Cease a breather, getting ready to throw the 10th pitch of this at-bat to Geraldo Perdomo. McCarthy at second base, 2 outs. And now Cease will step off. That's his first disengagement of the plate appearance. For those of you tracking disengagements. 2-2 to Perdomo. Cease look back at McCarthy. Now the pitch, and another foul ball back out of play. Boy, I tell you what, looked like Dylan Cease was going to have himself another tidy inning. Struck out the first 2 guys pretty quickly. Then McCarthy with the bloop double in and out of the glove of the center fielder Jackson Merrill. And now all of a sudden, we got an 11-pitch at bat at minimum here to Geraldo Perdomo. Here's another 2-2. Perdomo swings and misses. Strike 3. Finally got him with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, but an 11-pitch at bat to end the top of the 4th. McCarthy left at second base. We'll go to the bottom.
Well, see if the Reds can pour on a few more.
They turn around Ellie De La Cruz to bat right. And he drills this ball to left center. That's got great carry. That splashes down to the bed. De La Cruz goes deep. He's got 15. A pair of 2-run taters for the Reds and a 4-run fifth.
Well, maybe New York City is his kind of town. Well, he begins to show some of the doubters about his right-handedness, whether he's got power from the right side. You can check that box.
That's his 4th homer, batting right-handed on the year.
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find...
And Machado coming up against right-hander Ryan Nelson in a 1-1 game. In Atlanta, Braves beat the Phillies 6-0. They take 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia. Now 8 games back in the NL East. And we'll see the Braves here next weekend for the final 3 games before the All-Star break. Profar hit a home run on a line out to right field in his first at-bat. Only run of the day for the Pods. And he takes a fastball outside 1-0. Ryan Snicker trying to rally the troops in Atlanta said yesterday, hey, we came back from a big deficit 2 years ago, ended up winning it all. 1-0 pitch is up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. But obviously the Braves are not off to the start that I think everybody anticipated they would be off to.
No, and the Phillies are off to a really good start. What's interesting, the Phillies, trade deadline is coming up and everything. Rumored to be trying to go after center fielders.
Here's the 2-0, and Jerkson takes low ball 3.
And generally what Dave Dombrowski wants, Dave Dombrowski gets. And it sounds like he's trying to go after Bellinger with the Cubs and maybe Chisholm with Miami. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to solve some of their center field issues.
3-0 to Profar, batting left-handed, and he'll take a fastball basically down the middle for a strike. Now we've seen, I think, just about every team in the National League, not necessarily all 14 others right now, but I think we're close. Obviously, what we see is all we see in terms of in person. Fouled away now, 3-2 to Profar. The point I'm getting at is, I mean, to me, I don't know about you, Phillies look like the class of the National League so far.
I would agree with you 100%. I mean, they're balanced. They don't have a real weakness. I mean, you want to improve center field, but it's not a major Achilles heel at this point.
3-2, high and outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Profar here in the 4th inning, and a rare Ryan Nelson walk.
They have starting pitching. They have experienced starting pitching. We didn't get a chance to see the bullpen a whole lot because their offense and starting pitching really took the pressure off that bullpen. But yeah, I would say so, Jesse. That was, to me, that's the toast of the NL right now.
Doesn't mean anything come October, as we've learned the last couple of years.
Great point.
Right now, they look like, if you want to call them so, the team to beat. Runner on first, nobody out for Cronenworth. 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 4th. And a cutter way high, called a strike. Jake not happy about it. He's telling Alex McKay that he's not happy about it. There was a very similar call in his first at-bat. He eventually struck out. So not only a bad and miss here, but also some carryover frustration, I'm sure. And I don't know that you've ever seen Jake do that after strike 1. Here's a line drive up the middle, caught by Perdomo. Throw back to first, and not in time as Profar gets back. Cronenworth now staring down the home plate umpire as he walks back to the first base dugout. And I mean, Jake, look, he's a fiery competitor, don't get me wrong, but usually very diplomatic with the umpires. And that's how frustrated he was after that first pitch. On an 0-1 pitch, he turned around and pretty much got in the umpire's face.
Very un-Jake-like, but that's what the pitch was that was the difference maker in that previous plate appearance, Jesse. It was the cutter that was a call for a strike, and they came back with another one that he felt forced to swing at.
Here's Machado, who takes high ball 1.
And you fall into that trap as a batter. You feel like, okay, I've got to go for it. It just got called for a strike, and you go back and you look and you realize, no, that wasn't a strike. And so the next plate appearance, you feel like, okay, I got a beat on this pitch now. You take it, it's a ball again, and it gets called a strike again. Now you're pissed off.
1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0. There's kind of an interesting piece of that story, too, that we just heard about in the last week. As I think a lot of fans know, but I'm sure not all of you, players now have access to recorded video on the iPads in the dugouts. That's how they go back and watch their at-bats. They don't want guys going back into a video room anymore. 2-0 to Manny is swung on and missed. And this year, without telling anybody, MLB took off the strike zone box on all those videos. And the players got upset about it, and it was actually part of the collective bargaining agreement that they wouldn't do that. And so in the last week or two, those boxes have returned. 2-1 to Manny is fouled back. Apparently, the umpires went to MLB and said, hey, can you at least take the boxes off the videos? Because these guys are coming back and, you know, telling us what we missed or whatever, and we think it's just creating a more hostile environment. But the players were able to win that battle, and so now they're watching the videos with the boxes. So even more upset, I'm sure, you know, maybe now than they would have been earlier in the season. 2-2 to Manny, fouled back to our right, and the battle will continue.
And my guess is they're not using the same boxes that we see on the TVs. The TV boxes aren't that accurate, especially because of the camera angles out in center field. So if you're going to the outside corner, for example, on a right-hand batter, it's not going to be as accurate. But I'm assuming that they have the stuff that's used by the TrackMan behind home plate and a little bit more on point.
2-2. Machado swings, pokes it in the air, shallow center field. Perdomo back, Thomas in. It'll be the shortstop making the catch, and 2 down. So Profar back to first base, tied at 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Padres trying to cash in a leadoff walk to Jurickson Profar. It'll be left up to Donovan Solano to keep the ball rolling.
Well, it's been interesting. Brian Nelson so far has only thrown a handful of off-speed pitches. He's got Manny twice on the slider, but he's only thrown 4 sliders all day. It's been mostly fastballs, almost 70% fastballs today.
40 strikes, only 16 balls. As Solano takes a fastball and a strike, 0-1. Tarek Skubal, the Tigers, by the way, 13 strikeouts in Cincinnati today as they beat the Reds 5-1. Here's the 0-1. Solano hard in on the ground, left side. Suarez sliding to his left, has it, gets up, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. Nice play by Eugenio Suarez. Lead walk and a
De La Cruz, he snapped it 0 for 16 yesterday and is driven to straightaway center. Doyle way back into the shrubbery. De La Cruz straight away. His team leading 10, and it's 2-zip. What did Candelario say? Don't let the Reds get hot. Don't let Ellie get hot. Well, and when Ellie gets hot, look out, because he can do it a lot of different ways. Here he gets a fastball that just kind of stays right there, and he gets it right on the barrel and takes it right out. What a good sign for De La Cruz. It is.
Can you find Pete Alonso in this sea of Mets fans?
And Alonso drives one deep left field, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his second home run of the day. Pete Alonso keeps on raking. Just very strong.
And there he is. Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find Chris Bryant in this photo of Rockies fans?
Chris Bryant's whole career, I mean, he's been the favorite son, first-round pick, number 2 in the country. Now you're an established veteran.
Won an MVP, played in a World Series, won a World Series.
It is a home run! Headed for Berkeley! Chris Bryant's out of here!
That's got to make him feel pretty good.
And there he is.
At SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com to get more information.
Top of the 5th inning, Padres and Diamondbacks are tied at 1. Suarez, Thomas, and Newman 79. Coming up for Arizona against Dylan Cease. Suarez has one of the 4 Arizona hits on the day. Cease out of the windup, ready to go. And the first pitch to Suarez is a fastball right down the middle at 96 for strike 1. Suarez, nice defensive play to end the last inning on a ground ball to his left, hit by Donovan Solano. No balls and a strike. Pitch to Suarez is a slider, close enough to the outside corner for the plate umpire's liking. And the count is now 0-2. So he struck out all 3 batters last inning. He's got 5 Ks on the day. Here's the 0-2. And Suarez takes way high. Today's question of the day, brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. If you have questions about your health, visit kp.org/San Diego. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you? Great question today. I like it. There's the 1-2. Suarez swings and misses. Strike 3. There's 6 for Dylan Cease, and 1 out here in the 5th inning. Sissy up in San Clemente says, wants to know, when does wild card watch really ramp up in terms of importance? It's a great question and a fair question. As of today, by the way, the Braves are the first wild card. Padres are the second. Cardinals are the third. With the Diamondbacks and Mets 2.5 in back of St. Louis. Alec Thomas, a left-handed hitter, takes low ball 1. And you could argue, the Reds are right there. The Pirates are right there. The Giants are right there. But are we officially into wild card watch yet? Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
So, from a player's perspective, I'm going to say no. I couldn't care less right now as a player what the standings are. I've got to go out and win baseball games and just, keep grinding and keep winning, period.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
If I'm a general manager, I'm paying attention to this mainly because the trade deadline is coming up. And I need to know, do I have a legitimate chance of actually getting into the wild card or not? Because if I do, then I'm going to make different decisions than if I don't. So, yes and no. As a player, couldn't care less. As a GM, I've got to pay attention to this to help make some of my decisions. What's your thought on that, Jess?
Well, I think you've got it nailed on those perspectives. 1-2 to Thomas. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's now 3 straight strikeouts for Dylan Cease. 2 out here in the 5th inning. You've covered the player GM angle. I'm going to give you like the broadcaster/fan angle. Maybe mid-late August is when I'll start kind of like daily looking at where it's at. Because so much is going to change, as you said, with the trade deadline between now and then. And then obviously once you get into September, it's kind of that sprint to the finish. But yeah, like at the earliest, maybe mid-August before I start referencing it. Here's Newman fouling one back. An exception might be if the Padres are running away with a wild card spot or if they're way back. Then you say, hey, it's kind of turned into a situation. You're trying to contextualize the moment. But, if it's sort of the way it is now where you got all these teams clustered together, it's probably a ways away before we're on what Sissy called wild card watch.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there are so many teams that are clumped together right now. And with regards to the trade deadline coming up, as we mentioned, there's maybe 5 teams that are pretty much out of it and are going to be sellers. That's a limited number of teams to make players available.
Sharp ground ball to short. Kim scooting to his left has got it, slings it to first in time. And Kevin Newman grounds out a 1-2-3. 5th inning for Dylan Cease. We're midway at Petco. Tied at 1.
Can you find Pete Alonso in this sea of Mets fans?
And Alonso drives one deep left field. And it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his second home run of the day. Pete Alonso keeps on raking. Just very strong.
And there he is.
Listen, I've been following you for a while, man. Bottom line is you get your A swing off and generate a lot of pop.
I just want to go.
I'm getting this A to B.
Oh, man. Straight to the ball, barrel. Hitting the ball is the hardest thing to do. I'm a person from 0-0. I'm looking for spin. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to look for spin, but I'm going to time up a fastball. 0-0. If you spin it, I'm swinging. Like, if you spin it in the middle, I'm going to destroy it.
It's time for Play Ball categories. Let's spin the wheel and see what we land on. Home runs. Can you name every switch hitter in baseball history with at least 400 career home runs? Get those brains working. Switch hitters that had at least 400 career home runs? Here are the answers. Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, Chipper Jones, Carlos Beltran, and Mark Teixeira all had over 400 career home runs.
Thanks to our question of the day and sort of when we lock in on the standings sort of in earnest. And Rob, you brought up what I think is the biggest current storyline going in baseball, at least aside from the All-Star selections, which would be the trade deadline and how that'll impact all these wild card races. Merrill, left-handed batter, stands in, singled back in the second inning, one of only 2 hits the Padres have collected this afternoon. And he takes high ball 1.
Yeah, it's fascinating when you look at all the wild card candidates. So as it breaks down right now today, Atlanta Braves are 2.5 games up, and the Padres have a spot at a half game up. Then it's St. Louis.
1-0 to Merrill, swung on and missed.
Followed immediately by the Diamondbacks, the Mets, the Giants, the Pirates, the Reds, the Nationals, the Cubs. Of those 7 teams that I just named, 6 of them are under 500 right now.
Pitch to Merrill, way outside.
So it's just sort of a fascinating thing. If you're the Cubs, you're looking at it and say, okay, we're 6 games out of the wild card hunt today, and there's a lot of baseball left, so you can justify, you know, maybe we've got a shot at that.
Ground ball up the middle. Perdomo has it roll right to him. Shortstop with a long throw to first in time, 1 away.
But then you look at the other side of it and you say, but we're 7 games under 500 right now. Is that even justifiable that we should be, a buyer at the trade deadline? So I think it's just a really awkward situation. And Jesse, it's always a discussion, at least it is for me, the change in how the trade deadline works, the timing of it, the not being able to make trades after the deadline anymore. And you just wonder if too many decisions are being forced too early in the season.
Peralta swings to the first pitch, hits it in the air, foul down the left field line into the seats.
I mean, your thoughts on that?
If you bumped back the trade deadline a couple of weeks, you could probably solve some of these problems.
Well, more teams would have a determination of whether they're in or out, which would allow more activity to take place, right? And the other part of it is teams can be smarter in who they actually get.
Well, 1 is swung on and missed.
I mean, I'm trying to make trades right now. I might have to make trades for guys that I don't really need, but maybe I don't have depth in the rest of my organization to cover in case somebody gets hurt. You know, how many trades are you going to make to try to just load up on maybes and ifs? I'm not sure if that's the best thing for the game.
0-2 to Peralta, and he takes down and in. I do wonder what the argument against pushing the trade deadline back would be. I can't really think of one off the top of my head, and with this number of playoff spots now available, it just seems to make common sense. I'm sure someone will tell us. 1-2, and the pitch is a little bit off the plate outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Peralta, 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 game here at Petco. Nelson ready on 2-2. Peralta takes outside, ball 3.
You know, I don't think anybody in the front office would mind either, Jesse, because right now you've got the draft coming up. You've got the trade deadline coming up. I mean, front offices right now are being spread really thin to try to cover all your bases for some really important decisions.
3-2. Peralta takes at the knees, strike 3 call. 4th strikeout of the day for Ryan Nelson. Borderline pitch, to put it nicely, and it went Nelson's way. So 2 down, and Ha-Seong Kim coming up. Thanks again to Sissy and San Clemente for our question of the day. Remember to submit yours. All you have to do is go to 973thefansd.com/question. Kim 0 for 1. Struck out in his first AB, and he takes a cutter for a strike. Right to the outside corner of the knees, 0-1. Nelson, 70th pitch of the afternoon on the way, and Kim flinches, takes a fastball high, 1-1.
Nelson just continuing to use that fastball, really heavy on the 4-seamer today, Jesse. Really just locating it up, down, in and out, using all 4 quadrants.
A very rare thing these days from a starting pitcher. 1-1, another fastball and a strike on the outside edge, 1-2.
And it's not that he's been necessarily precision with all of them. I'm not saying that he's always gotten the ball where he wants it to go, but even if he misses a spot, it's missing on the corner, and then he comes back to the other side, even if that wasn't the original game plan.
1-2 to Kim. Pitch on the way. Reach for it. Kind of looped into shallow right. That'll drop down. And a base hit for Kim. Only the 3rd knock of the day for the Padres. Two-out single in the bottom of the fifth inning and a man aboard for Luis Campusano.
We talked about it earlier. The game plan against Kim this series has been away. And Hassan Kim did a nice job of just looking out there, extending the arms, and blooping it over the second baseman's head.
Turn back the clock and commemorate the 40th anniversary of the 1984 Padres this Wednesday. Game against the Mariners at 3:40. First 40,000 fans get a special 84 throwback hat thanks to San Diego Community Power. Learn more at Padres.com/giveaways. Swing and a miss at a fastball, strike one. I think also about 20 guys from the 1984 team will be in attendance here on Wednesday afternoon.
Well, that's cool. Be good to see those guys.
Very cool. Kim started and stopped at first base. Campusano swings and misses at a fastball, strike two.
It's kind of a weird start and stop by Hassan Kim. He took off, and he was a third of the way there, and then threw the brakes on and scampered back to first base, and probably would have had the bag easily.
And 2, and Campusano fouls it straight back. I've also heard a rumor about a very special national anthem on Wednesday, by the way, for that game honoring the 1984 National League champions. I don't know if it's supposed to be a surprise or not, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, now you got us on the edge of our seats, Jesse.
Well, we hope your seats are right here at Petco Park Wednesday afternoon.
That's a tough tease.
The first. It's one of those things, you hear it, but then in all the emails they send about promotions and all the reads we have, it's not mentioned anywhere. So you think, okay, maybe it's a surprise. I'll tell you, don't worry. Pitch to Campusano, grounded to the left side. Perdomo scoots to his right, has it, throws to second. They'll force Kim, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, man left on base. Go to the 6th at Petco Park. Padres and Diamondbacks tied at 1 on the Padres Radio Network.
Cask & Co.'s Premium California.
Game back on his birthday, Joey Votto. High in the air, deep right. On his 40th birthday and his first game back. The first big leaguer to go deep on his 40th birthday since A-Rod in 2015. I think they can show for Walker.
Oh, this is just an outstanding swing. Sitting back on the breaking ball from Suarez. And man, that was a bomb.
105 off the bat with 437 feet.
Listen.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Enjoy fun weekend promotions, including Cerveza Fest, presented by Southwest Airlines on Friday night with $5 Mexican beers and live music. Visit Padres.com/tickets. Corbin Carroll has driven in the only Arizona run of the day. Stands in, takes a backup slider for a strike. 0-1. Carroll hit a leadoff home run against Dylan Cease. And that is it offensively for the Diamondbacks here today. 0-1. And Carroll takes outside. Then in the bottom of the first inning, with 1 out, Jurickson Profar hit a solo home run. That tied the game. And we have not really seen much of anything offensively since. Both Cease and Nelson have done a nice job. 1 1-1 outside. 2 balls and a strike. And I'm sure also a great relief for these managers that the pitch counts are sort of where they are at this point in the game, because got a couple of bullpens that have been really, really taxed in the last few days. 2-1 pitch right down the middle and a called strike. 2-2. How about this? On the road trip for the Diamondbacks, remember the 3 games in Los Angeles and then the first 2 games of this series. The Arizona bullpen has just been abused. 2-2 is high, ball 3. In terms of usage, that is. They have thrown 28 of the 46 innings that have had to be covered in the first 5 games of this trip.
That's a lot. And a lot also depends on who you have in your bullpen. Do you have some long guys that can suck up some innings for you or not? You know, I don't know that the Diamondbacks bullpen is constructed that way.
3-2 to Carroll. Cease delivers, and a swing and a miss as the bat goes flying into the netting above the Padre dugout. Look for Carroll, who's just going to walk back to the third base dugout while the bat boy on one side hands it over to the bat boy on the other side. 8th strikeout for Dylan Cease.
6 out of his last 8 guys down by punch-outs, Jesse. He's really found the feel for that slider. He's used the curveball effectively as well. It's an important inning for him from the pitch count standpoint, as you mentioned.
Here's Moreno. Pitch number 81 is a strike.
He had 11 pitches to end the 4th inning. Then he had a nice, pretty efficient, even though he had 2 strikeouts in there, 5th inning. And you want to get through this one on 15 pitches or so, which is about the average per inning.
0-1, fouled right back.
What that does is it gets you through the top of their order and gets you in a little bit more of a soft spot. You're still at 90 pitches. The point is you can probably maybe get Dylan through the 7th if you can have an efficient 6th.
Roll balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And Moreno takes low and outside. Nelson, meanwhile, through 5 innings for the Diamondbacks, and in terms of his pitch count on the other side, he's at 76. First time an Arizona starter has gotten through 5 on this road trip for them. 1-2 to Moreno. Cease delivers. And a ground ball right to Kim at shortstop. Lets it roll out to him. Pats in the glove twice. And the throw to first is in time. 2 away in the top of the 6th.
Nice. Hey, who's on deck for the Padres in the 6th is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. It'll be the top of the order for the Padres coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Luis Arraez, Jurickson Profar, and Jake Cronenworth.
Base is empty, 2 out for the ever-dangerous Jock Peterson. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout, but 13 home runs on the season, including one in the game here on Friday. First pitch from Cease, and Jock swings, fouls it off Campusano, strike 1. So 8 strikeouts so far for Dylan Cease. That puts him at 138 on the season. 5 in back of Tyler Glasnow for the National League lead. Six in a row set down by Cease as Peterson muscles this one in the air behind second. Kim goes back and able to go and make the catch to retire this side. Another 1-2-3 frame after 5.5. Padres and Diamondbacks still tied 1-1 on the Padres Radio Network.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools...
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find Aaron Judge in this sea of Yankee fans?
That one is drill. A Judgian blast.
That is absolutely crushed.
Judge is doing it again. Santa Maria. And it is going to be caught by Judge. How about that? So much fun to watch.
And there he is.
Brett Rooker Record joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here?
That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches. And I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think
he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
So Atlanta inches a bit closer, 9-2. Now here's Matt Olson. Olson, center field. Back to back. That was an absolute tank. And he's in front of Ohtani now with 45 of them.
448 into Chattahoochee Falls. Boys like going back-to-back sometimes.
7th time this year those two have done this.
Look at this one. Cleared all the trees up there.
Maybe went beyond Chattahoochee Falls.
I was going to say, I think he showed Riley up a little bit there on that one.
A very interesting approach to this lineup here this afternoon.
It's been fastballs, Jesse. I mean, he's mixed in some cutters, but for the most part, it's been a fastball-heavy diet. He's only thrown a handful of breaking balls, but he's gotten outs on those breaking balls.
Statue take by a rise, and a fastball misses up and away, 1-0. Padres have 3 hits on the day. The Profar homer in the first inning, and then singles by Merrill and Kim. Here's a curveball, and while it was high, it was called a strike. 1-1 on a rise. Luis 0 for 2 with a ground out. He's also fouled to Suarez at third. 1-1 pitch, popped up again. Left side of the infield again. Suarez calling for it. Perdomo comes in. He'll call him off. And just to the left of the mound on the grass cutout, the shortstop makes the catch, 1 away.
Ryan is really frustrated with himself. He's gone after that pitch upstairs a couple of times now. He had a pop-up to the third baseman in the third, another fastball upstairs that he's just not able to get on top of. And it just seems as though that Ryan Nelson has a little bit more carrier life on that fastball upstairs than he normally has.
Here's Profar, who's really been the guy that's handled him better than anybody else. Homer in the first, the only run, and a walk in the fourth, the only walk. Swings at the first pitch here, sends it in the air to left field. McCarthy racing over towards the line, and the speedy little guy gets there to make the catch, 2 away. They've got all 3 of their speed demon outfielders in there this afternoon. McCarthy in left, Thomas in center, Carroll in right, and really not much happening in the outfield against Ryan Nelson. In fact, by my very quick count here, that is only the 2nd put out by an outfielder in the game. Here's Cronenworth 0 for 2. He is struck out and lined to short. First pitch to him is a fastball down the middle, strike 1. Jake's had a couple of frustrating ABs, a couple of calls go against him. Showed some of the frustration in his last time. Check swing here, a little roller out to third, speaking of frustrating. Suarez has it, throw to first in time, and a check swing ground out ends a very quick 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. And to the 7th at Petco Park, Padres and Diamondbacks 1-1.
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find Juan Soto in this photo of Yankees fans?
Now with the New York Yankees, it's Juan Soto.
Think about him hitting in Yankee Stadium.
High drive, right field, there it goes. See ya.
He's going to absolutely dominate in the Bronx. He's going to crush that short porch. Very good.
That's one of the great players of the game.
And there he is.
Padres have taken the lead, and here's Guerrero. And Vladdy launches one.
Finished 6 innings. Maybe if you've been a baseball fan for a long time, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it seems few and far between the games these days in which both starters finish 6.
No, it's astonishing. It's usually fun when you have one guy that gets through the 6th inning. You're like, whoa, this is sort of an old school performance, but to have 2 is really unusual. And Dylan Cease, after that clean 6th inning, in a position to get through the 7th. Even if he gets in trouble, Mike Schilt can extend him.
First pitch to Christian Walker, a fastball, strike nothing and 1. Walker has struck out both times up here this afternoon. A pair of first inning home runs. 1 for Carroll, 1 for Profar. That is it through 6 innings. Here's the 0-1. Walker swings, sends it in the air, center field shallow. Merrill jogging in, a little bit over now towards right center. And he'll tiptoe to make the catch. 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. Padre fans, trust Petco as your pet partner for your whole lineup with grooming, training, and full-service vet care. Book online today. Petco, official pet partner of the San Diego Padres. Arizona out hitting the Pods 4-3, and 2 of their 4 hits belong to this guy, Jake McCarthy. The lead single in the second was erased on a double play, then a bloop double his last time up. First pitch to the left-handed hitter is low, ball 1. Just kind of knocked one into shallow center. Merrill dove forward, had it in the glove, but couldn't squeeze it. And McCarthy used his elite speed to get around to second base. 90th pitch of the day for Cease, and on 1-0, McCarthy inside outs it the other way. Profar backing up in left field, plenty of space, and he makes the catch, 2 down.
As you mentioned, the slider's been a weapon that we always know Dylan Cease is going to go to, but it's gotten better and better as the game has gone on. The other thing has been that knuckle curveball, Jesse. He normally uses it about 8 or 9% of the time, but he's used it 22% of the time today. That knuckle curveball has been another nice weapon to complement the fastball upstairs for Dylan.
Yeah, and it started early on, too. Here's Geraldo Perdomo. Switch hitter batting left-handed, takes a fastball, strike nothing and 1. Perdomo grounded into a double play in the second inning. He struck out in the 4th. That was the 11-pitch battle for Cease that has really created the only long inning that he's had today. 0-1 is low, and a ball and a strike to Perdomo.
That first pitch strike to Perdomo, that was one of my favorite fastballs he's thrown all day. 96 miles an hour on the knees on the outside corner, perfectly located. We know he can go upstairs when he wants to, but to dot that one down and away at this point.
Check swing and a ball in the dirt. He went as they appeal up to third, and now 1-2. Base is empty, 2 outs, tie game, top of the 7th inning. Dylan Cease trying to finish 7 really good innings. One and 2, the pitch. And Perdomo takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan has gone 7 3 times in a Padre uniform. Most recently 2 starts ago here against the Nats. Remember, just the 1 hit allowed. A brilliant start sandwiched between 2 difficult ones against Milwaukee and the Rangers. 2-2 now to Perdomo. Pitch on the way from Cease, and it's taken high, ball 3. Two outs, nobody on. The payoff pitch. Perdomo swings, hits it hard on a line, but foul up the right field side, and it remains 3-2. Robert Suarez has been announced as a National League All-Star. No surprise at all, but a hearty congratulations to the Padre closer.
Way to go, Robert. Well deserved.
And a 2-out base runner here in the 7th inning with Eugenio Suarez coming up.
Yeah, the last plate appearance he made Cease throw 11 pitches. Was able to cruise through the 5th, cruise through the 6th. Here we are in the 7th, and it's not a situation where you have to have the bullpen hot. You have to have a guy ready just because a guy gets on base. Dylan Cease still has enough in the tank that he can work through this himself with the bottom part of the order coming up.
Visit to the mound brought to you by the Window Depot, offering the best prices and biggest inventory on in-stock vinyl windows and interior and exterior doors. Order online or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. So runner on first, 2 outs, 1-1 game in the top of the 7th inning. Suarez stands in 1 for 2 on the day. Mentioned Robert Suarez, an all-star. They have not yet announced the position players. We obviously know about Profar and Tatis, waiting on a couple of other hopefuls, certainly. And we'll let you know as soon as we know. Now to visit over, Suarez stands in. First pitch from Cease, check swing, but he went around on a fastball that was probably a strike anyway, 0-1. That was pitch number 99 from Dylan Cease here this afternoon. He has thrown as many as 113 in a game this year. For the first, and Perdomo just kind of flops back ahead of the non-tag from Arise. Luis just kind of hovered over him. Never actually put the glove on his body. Balls and a strike to Eugenio Suarez. Cease, a long pause. Now the pitch. Suarez takes in the dirt. Good stop by Campusano. And the count is even at 1-1. Tie game, 7th inning. Cease working out of the stretch for the first time since the 4th inning. Pitch 101 about to be delivered. Nope, throw to first again. And Perdomo is back. So the second disengagement used here. And obviously Cease thinks there's a real chance that Geraldo Perdomo might try and put himself into scoring position. Remember, he's really not necessarily full bore after the meniscus injury. He's only attempted 1 steal this year. 1-1 to Suarez. Not running. That one's hit in the air to left field and deep. Profar's back at the wall. Gonna go. First row, right over the fence in left field. A 2-run homer for Eugenio Suarez, his second hit of the day. And the Diamondbacks now lead it 3-1.
Second time today that Suarez has been able to get to a fastball from Dylan Cease. It looked like they were trying to elevate this one away, but it looked like it leaked on the inside part, and Suarez able to hit a line drive. Didn't know if it was going to be high enough, Jesse, but it was. Leaked inner half, and 2-iron just barely gets over the wall.
350-foot home run, and the fence there is literally, I mean, it's got to be 348 from home plate. Alec Thomas, left-handed batter with the bases empty, takes a high strike, 0-1. 7th of the year for Suarez. He drove in the only run Cease allowed in his start against the Diamondbacks earlier this year. Here's the 0-1. Thomas swings, pops one into center field. Straight away, Jackson Merrill finding it. In the bright blue sky, he's got it and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Diamondbacks do damage. Geraldo Perdomo draws an 8-pitch walk. And a couple of pitches after that, Eugenio Suarez, a 2-run homer to break this 1-1 tie. So middle of the 7th at Petco. And the Diamondbacks are back in front. Padres will try and answer. Arizona ahead, 3-1. Military Sunday, of course, here at Petco Park. And we're very happy and honored to bring you the singing of God Bless America. We'll take you down to the field. Lieutenant Eric Bryan of the 9th Communication Battalion. He's a chaplain, is on the field by the third base coach's box in foul territory.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Lieutenant Eric Bryan of the United States Navy. Time to...
Now it's time for Eyes on the Ball Player. Can you find J.P. Crawford in this photo of Mariners fans?
What a season for J.P. Crawford.
All effort, all the time.
A charge! Lightning strikes immediately! Just a dynamite play by the Mariners Gold Glover. J.P. Crawford comes up huge!
And there he is.
We do not mess up your name. We pride ourselves here on MLB Central.
That's right.
Right?
As much as you dig into your yard. Located in Encinitas, Escondido, and Fallbrook, and online at grandjettos.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, Ryan Nelson still out there for the Diamondbacks. Arizona has gone back in front 3-1 on the Eugenio Suarez homer. Padres have Machado, Solano, and Merrill here against the Diamondbacks starting pitcher. Manny 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups. First pitch swinging, a pop-up. Left side of the infield, Geraldo Perdomo on the dirt, couple of steps towards third, and he makes the catch. One pitch, one out for Nelson here in the 7th inning. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Kyle Higashioka. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 station, 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station.
Well, now nobody on in the bottom of the 7th inning. Padres down 3-1 against Arizona. Donovan Solano gets in. Right-handed hitter takes a fastball strike. 0-1 from Ryan Nelson. 3 home runs in this game is the entirety of the score. Here's the 0-1. Solano takes another fastball and a strike. 0-2. Leadoff homer Corbin Carroll. Profar answered in the bottom of the 1st. That made it 1-1. And that's where we stayed until about 10 minutes ago. 0-2 to Solano. Nelson will deliver. And Solano, kind of an awkward 3/4 swing, fouls it back out of play. Eugenio Suarez, a 2-run shot in the top of this 7th inning to give the Diamondbacks their lead. And Nelson at just 85 pitches has 1 out here in the 7th inning. And talk about picking up an overworked bullpen. That's what he's been doing. Padres have some outs to play with, though. And the 0-2 to Solano swung on it, missed strike 3. 96 on that fastball in his 5th strikeout of the day.
No, just away. Showed him the token 1 pitch inside, then went right back down away. And Torey Lovullo said he's seen enough. Quite a great effort today out of Ryan Nelson, and he's going to go to that bullpen.
So it'll be 6 2/3 for Nelson, and in a very efficient way. So Lovullo thinks he's got enough out in left center field to help him get through the rest of the day. We'll find out. Pitching change in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 down, nobody on. Padres trail 3-1 on the Padres Radio Network.
San Diego Restaurateurs. Elevate your operations with Sin Lee Food convenient delivery to your place of business. Top local restaurants source unique Asian ingredients and supplies here for fantastic prices. We're expanding delivery, bringing the freshest products straight to your business. Experience unmatched convenience. Apply now as a restaurant partner. Let Sin Lee transform your operations, saving time and money. Source where the pros source at Sin Lee Food, 4665 El Cajon Boulevard, the Cook's Asian Resource.
Energy efficient windows, total roofing protection, and exterior house painting. It's all here at Genesis Home Improvements. With over 19 years of experience and a reputation built on trust and customer satisfaction, Genesis Home Improvements is your go-to partner for all your home improvement needs. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Lifetime warranty on all products. 100% financing. No money down. It's time to breathe new life into your home. Save 15% today. Visit GenesisHomeImprovementsST.com.
Hey, it's Gravy here from Gwen and Chris, and you've heard me talking about all the great things that Kaiser Permanente does. And with my shoulder on the mend, I have never had to see so many different doctors, and at first, it was intimidating. But I shouldn't have worried because Kaiser Permanente has over 1,500 doctors in San Diego, and Kaiser Permanente has the most care all in one building. I got my MRI, my surgery, and I am completing physical therapy, and I don't have to go anywhere else. For more information, go to kp.org/San Diego. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
Joe Mantiply being called on for the 41st time of the season, a 4.59 earned run average. The Padres saw him last night for 2/3 of an innings, and they were able to get to him. 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He's allowed 7 runs over his last 9 innings pitched. So you talk about a fatigued bullpen. Let's see if the Padres can do some more damage, Jess.
Jackson Merrill will be the batter. Arizona ahead 3-1 with nobody on and 2 down in the 7th inning. First pitch to Merrill, grounded foul right side. Pitching change brought to you by Miramar Kitchen and Bath. When it's time to upgrade your kitchen or bath, think of San Diego's top kitchen and bath remodelers for more than 30 years. Visit MiramarKitchenandBath.com to book your free consultation today. 0-1. The pitch to Merrill is grounded foul again behind first base. And it's 0-2 in this lefty-to-lefty matchup.
Fans, just a reminder, Major League Baseball is taking over Texas with the game's biggest events. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 15th at 5 p.m. Then catch the 49th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's July 16th at 4 p.m. on Fox.
Meanwhile, Jackson Merrill has just been announced as an All-Star. Gets a piece of this one, fouls it off at the plate. Now, full transparency, Jackson knew before the game, but it's becoming public literally right now during his at-bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. What an accomplishment for the 21-year-old rookie. 0-2, Mantiply delivers and misses down and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Congratulations, Jackson. Well deserved. What a start to your career you have put together, young man. Transitioning from shortstop to center field, proving that you can hit at the major league level. It's been a joy to watch you play, and congratulations on being an all-star in your rookie year.
Luis Arraez will join him in Arlington. That's just been announced. 1-2, Merrill swings, lines it over the first baseman, Walker, and foul down the right field line. Just a tick out in front of that curveball, and 1-2 the count still.
I'd have been shocked if Luis Arraez had not made it, but still, congratulations, Luis. Again, well-deserved. The best handler of that in all of Major League Baseball at this point.
So the Padres will be very well represented in Arlington. 1-2 to Merrill. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch is swung on, grounded to first. Walker has it behind the bag, near the line, brings it himself, and the inning is over. Padres go 1-2-3 against Nelson and Mantiply.
Brett Rooker joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here?
That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches. And I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think God, he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
this sea of Yankee fans.
That one is drill. A Judgian blast. That is absolutely crushed.
At Padres.com/tours.
Top of the 8th inning, Diamondbacks come to bat against the new Padre pitcher, left-hander Austin Davis. Arizona ahead 3-1. Dylan Cease goes 7, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts through 103 pitches, the vast majority of which were strikes. Kevin Newman, the number 9 hitter, takes a first pitch cutter a little bit low. Ball 1 from Davis. 2 swings against Dylan Cease brought home all 3 Arizona runs, and they were kind of bookend swings in his outing. Pitch inside, 2-0. Leadoff homer to Corbin Carroll in the first, and then a 2-out, 2-run homer by Eugenio Suarez in the 7th. So now Davis, for the 4th time, out of the bullpen for the big league Padres, had done some time closing at AAA El Paso earlier this year. 2-0 to Newman is outside, ball 3. Pitching change brought to you by Sid's Carpet Bar. For over 70 years, Sid's has been San Diego's floor covering leader. For a huge selection at the lowest prices, visit Sid's or sidscarpet.com. 3-0 pitch. Newman takes a strike near the outside corner, 3-1.
Yeah, really a frustrating end of the day for Dylan Cease. Really battled. As you mentioned, just gave up the home run on the first, then pitched very well the rest of the way. Had enough left in the tank, it looked like, to get through that 7th inning.
3-1, popped up foul out of play. Davis back in it now, 3-2.
And you feel comfortable with it also because he has absolutely dominated the bottom parts of lineups. Batters 5 through 9 have hit only 205 against Dylan Cease all season long. Only 12 extra base hits total. But a fastball that Suarez was able to catch up on and just barely get over the wall. Tough way to end the day.
3-2 to Kevin Newman. The pitch from Davis swung on, hit hard, and just foul up the third baseline. All right, the All-Star rosters are now all officially released. Obviously, in terms of the fan vote and the starters, the Padres have Profar and Tatis. And those guys will be joined on the National League roster by Luis Arraez, Jackson Merrill, and Robert Suarez. 3-2, Newman hits it hard over Solano into left field and a base hit. Profar over towards the line, able to cut it off, but not before Newman speeds into second base. A leadoff double here in the 8th inning for Kevin Newman.
Jesse, looking at the National League reserves, I see Will Smith of the Dodgers is going to be in Texas in the same clubhouse as Jurickson Profar.
Now, if a guy is an all-star, I believe pretty much by definition, that makes him relevant. There's no such thing as an irrelevant all-star, right?
I would agree 1,000%.
Corbin Carroll gets in, shows bunt, spins away from an inside fastball, 1-0.
Yeah, MVP candidates and all-stars generally not irrelevant.
No. Like if you looked the word up in the dictionary, it's kind of the opposite. You would need an antonym. Relevant would apply much better than irrelevant. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, does Jurickson show up in the clubhouse with a T-shirt that has some reference to that?
Carroll drags a bunt. Davis gloves it, gets rid of it quickly, and the throw to first is in time. Call it a sacrifice for Corbin Carroll. Newman at third with 1 away. They do have the T-shirts with Profar's cartoon on it. It says relevant underneath. I mean, it would be a choice and a move by Jurickson Profar to roll into the clubhouse at Globe Life Field wearing that shirt and then going over to Will Smith and shaking his hand.
I'm going to say Jurickson's not afraid.
It is a tremendous vision.
I hope so. There's a camera there somewhere.
Pitch to Moreno with the infield in is a strike, 0-1. If I'm Will Smith, and look, I know these guys are competitors and things happen in the moment, and I'm fiery, but if I'm Will Smith, I'm apologizing at the All-Star game. Here's the 0-1. That's way up and away. You know what? I didn't choose my words well. I respect you as a player and as a competitor. That would be me if I'm Will Smith.
Yeah, and I think Will Smith was also coming from a standpoint, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, but not saying that Jurickson was irrelevant as much as the moment and what was going on in that situation.
Pitch down and in, 2-1.
How he was kind of spinning it at the time. So, yeah, look, as much as we're kind of joking about it, these are the opportunities for guys to sort of get together, have a face-to-face, and put it behind them if they choose to.
2-1 pitch, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Moreno. Runner on third, one out, top of the 8th inning. The Diamondbacks ahead 3-1. Yeah, wearing the shirt would be a flex. Moreno 0 for 3 here today. Pitch coming, and he muscles that one into shallow left field. It'll drop down, and a base hit. Newman on to score, and an RBI single for Gabriel Moreno. The Arizona lead now 4-1.
Big RBI right there. Look, I know some people talk about stay within slam range and everything. My thing has always been a bloop and a blast. Just stay within 2 runs so that you can get lucky with a walk or a bloop, and then one swing of the bat, you can tie it up. But now you got some work to do.
What about double slam range? What do you feel about that?
I'm not making a T-shirt for double slam range, Jesse. I'll tell you that right now.
Ruben Niebla now to visit with Austin Davis, who has gone double sack bunt walk here in the 8th inning in relief of Dylan Cease. Diamondbacks have added to their lead 4-1 with a man aboard, 1 out, and Jock Peterson going to be pinch hit for. So Grichuk, who has really sort of thrived in this role for the Diamondbacks this year, pinch hitting against left-handed relievers, will come to bat. That's what made his pinch hit home run in Game 1 here on Friday night so remarkable. Remember, he put him ahead with a 2-run shot against Suarez. And for Grichuk, it was a very, very rare pinch hit appearance against a right-handed reliever. But with Marte injured, it was kind of the choice they had to make. And he came through in a huge way. So kind of a more typical spot right here and right now for the veteran right-handed hitter. 4-1 Diamondbacks. Runner on first, 1 out, 8th inning. Grichuk to face Austin Davis. First pitch coming. And Grichuk takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Grichuk facing Davis for the first time in his career. Left-hander is set. Now the 0-1 pitch swung on, popped up behind first base. A rise over towards that side wall over the shoulder. Can't get there. The ball comes down on that protective netting. 0-2 to Randall Grichuk.
You know, these are always challenging situations. If you're one of the relievers that doesn't get consistent work and you go out there once every 5th day, 6 days, 7 days sometimes, you know, the game is still within reach. You want to do your job, but there's no substitute for pitching in the actual game. You can throw as many bullpens as you want, but it's just a different beast being in the contest.
Way high and outside, ball 1.
It's more from the mental side than the physical side. Just getting yourself locked in, having a batter in there, being focused. When you're doing it on a consistent basis, you just get on the mound and you're locked in. When you're not, sometimes you can find yourself fighting yourself, but you got a job you got to get done and keep this team close.
Pitch outside, 2-2 now to Grichuk. Yeah, there's kind of that sweet spot lane for relievers, you know, where you're not underused, you're not overused. And I imagine there are very few times over the course of the season when a guy spends a ton of time in that lane. 2-2, Grichuk bounces it towards third, backhand by Solano. Great stop, fires to second one, on to first, in time, and a double play. Beautifully done by Solano, and that'll end the top of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks get a run on 2 hits, nobody left. After 7.5, they lead 4-1 on the Padres radio network.
Joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here?
That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches. And I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think
God, he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
It's an 0-1 count to Altuve. Astros down 4-2. And Altuve hits it in the air pretty deep to left. Carter is back at the wall. Leaves, and it is gone! It's gone! It's gone! It's gone! Jose Altuve gives the Astros a 5-4 lead! How do you like that? Altuve.
And you hear the ovation from these fans, those who did not see it on social media. Fernando being shown on the big board, Jackson Merrill, Robert Suarez, obviously, Luis Arraez, and really very special to be able to send 5 guys to the All-Star roster here in 2024. David Peralta leads off against the new Diamondback pitcher, hard-throwing right-hander Justin Martinez. And a first pitch fastball, strike 1. Arizona leads this game 4-1. Padres with 6 outs to play with if they want to make for another manic finish here this weekend. Peralta bounces one to second base. Newman has it, and the throw to first is in time, 1 away.
Well, this is right where Torey Lovullo wanted to be in terms of having one guy that's semi-fresh. It's been at least 3 days since Martinez last threw. He was in the Dodgers series, stayed busy during that. He also pitched in Oakland. Gave up a couple runs in that first game against the Dodgers. But overall, he's been outstanding, a 1.54 ERA.
1 out, nobody on for Ha-Seong Kim. 1 out of 2 with a single. He takes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Padres have just 3 hits here today, all of them against the starter Nelson. Van Supply came on to get Merrill last inning, and now Martinez. Pitch to Kim is upstairs at 99, 1-1. Campusano waiting on deck. Padres down 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rubber game of this 3-game series. 1-1 pitch. Kim hits it hard, but right to Suarez at third. Stops it, I think, on a short hop by his feet. Throws to first anyway. And 2 down. Not one of the 4 umpires signaled either safe or out when he handled that short hop down by his feet. Generally, they'll let you know.
I'm not sure they knew, Jesse, and they were just trying to let the players figure it out for them. You want to go ahead and run out to first base, go right ahead. That way we don't have to decide whether the ball was caught or not. But it looked like he did get it cleanly, got the fingertips underneath.
Yeah, I'm going to call it a line out. Campusano takes a fastball, strike nothing, and 1. Miller, by the way, the third base umpire, I think he just asked Suarez, who told him I caught it, and then he made the outside. 2 pitches later is the 0-1. And a bouncer over the mound. It'll be charged by Newman in front of the bag at second. Throw to first in time, and a really quick 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th. End of the 9th at Petco Park. Arizona leads 4-1 on the Padres radio network.
It's time for Play Ball Categories. Let's spin the wheel and see what we land on. Saves. Can you name every active player with at least 200 saves? Get those minds working. Let's get back to categories. Do you have your answers ready? Kenley Jansen, Craig Kimbrell, Aroldis Chapman, and Edwin Diaz all have over 200 saves.
Brett Rooker joining the show in studio. We're going to talk hitting.
What are you thinking right here?
That's 95 at the very top, and I at least foul it off. So I know I can cover it. If I make that same move and have that same mindset, I can cover the fastball at the top. And if I can cover that fastball at the top and at least foul it off with 2 strikes, then I know I'm on the rest of the pitches. And I know I've got time to adjust to it. Can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And I think
God, he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
In the bottom of the 9th inning. But first things first, Walker McCarthy and Perdomo, 4, 5, and 6 at the dish for the Diamondbacks. Walker 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Really, with the exception of the big 10th inning hit in last night's game, the Padres have held Walker down all weekend long. But as dangerous a hitter as they've got. And the first pitch to him is hit hard but foul on the ground at third base. 0-1.
Padres have pitched him really well, Jesse. I mean, as I mentioned, it looked like in that Dodgers series, Dodgers pitching staff made mistakes and he made them pay big time. But the Padres haven't given him a whole lot of cookies to drive.
Takes this pitch down and in, 1-1. Remember, he came in about as hot as you can possibly be in their 3 games at Dodger Stadium. He went 8 for 13 with 5 home runs. 1-1 is inside, 2 balls and a strike. Coming into the series, he had reached safely in 17 of his last 24 plate appearances. But against the Padres here this weekend now, just 2 for 13. Either way, Diamondbacks have a 3-run lead in the 9th inning. Pitch coming, and a good breaking ball drops in for a strike. 2-2 from Austin Davis.
Boy, a big sweeper started off in the left-hand batter's box, and you can see Walker just give up on it, understandably, and then just dropped onto the outside corner. Nice pitch.
Walker used his timeout, kind of takes his time getting back into the box. Now he is. 2-2 from Austin Davis. Here's the pitch. Walker swings, hits it hard through the left side, and a base hit. Leadoff single here in the top of the 9th inning. Diamondbacks were able to cash in the lead double last inning. And we'll see how it goes this time as the left-handed hitting Jake McCarthy stands in against Davis.
Well, fastball middle of the plate. We talked about mistakes that he had hit. That was one of them, and he didn't miss it. He's still not missing mistakes, Jesse.
Padres aware that a bunt is a possibility here. Solano drawn in a little bit at third. Lefty to lefty against McCarthy. Swinging away, fouls it back, strike 1. Time for our next game preview, but a reminder the party starts before the game on the Coaster Train. Join the winning team. Buy your Coaster Train tickets to Padre games and score big at gonctd.com/Padres. Day off tomorrow, back at it Tuesday night against Seattle. Fouled away left side into the seats, strike 2. Padres have not announced their starters for that series. Mariners on Tuesday night will throw Logan Gilbert. And then that 3:40 game on Wednesday, it'll be Bryce Miller. Gilbert, by the way, is an American League All-Star. 0-2, and McCarthy takes outside. Nice long homestand to kind of ease into the All-Star break for the Padres. And then coming out of the break, a nice long road trip. 1-2 is up and in. I believe it is the only 3-city trip of the entire season. And coming out of the break, the Padres will play games in Cleveland, Washington, and Baltimore.
Cleveland playing some really, really good baseball right now, as is Baltimore.
2-2. And McCarthy checks his swing on a ball down. They appeal, but he didn't go. Count fills, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Those might be the 2 next best teams after Philly that we've seen this year.
Thinking about it.
Yankees were hot when we saw them, but they have cooled off to say the least.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm excited to see the Orioles in person, yeah. 3-2. McCarthy takes low and outside, and ball 4. So the Diamondbacks begin their half of the 9th inning with a single and a walk. A couple of guys on, nobody out. Switch hitting Geraldo Perdomo coming up. There is action in the Padre bullpen. It's Aniel De Los Santos, but look, obviously, with the state of the bullpen as it is, down by 3 in the 9th inning, Mike Shildt is really kind of left without the ability to use some of his medium and high leverage guys. Davis has now thrown 30 pitches, only 16 of which have been strikes. Perdomo hitting right-handed, goes to bunt, pulls back, and takes down and in ball 1. Padres had a little bit of a wheel play on. Solano was charging from third. Kim was covering the bag on the left side. Not sure that's what Kim was supposed to be doing because he's now communicating with the dugout, and it looks like they're telling him something about what he just did. 1-0 pitch, swing it away, line drive into center field, and a base hit. Walker will advance to third and stop there. But the Diamondbacks have the bases loaded and nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Eugenio Suarez is coming up, and he hit a 2-run homer against Dylan Cease in his last at bat. He will not get the opportunity to face the left-hander, Austin Davis. Mike Schilt headed out to make a pitching change. Cease got the Padres through 7, and with nobody down here in the 9th inning, Austin Davis will be relieved, and it appears Daniel De Los Santos will be summoned. Arizona ahead 4-1. They've got the bases loaded, nobody out on the Padres radio network.
Don't strike out with Padres game day traffic. Ride the coaster train to San Diego Padres.
In this photo, Pirates fan?
It's a homer from McCutchen. Touch in the clutch. Diving catch by Andrew McCutchen. What a play. The Andrew McCutchen Show. Andrew McCutchen has homered again. Andrew McCutchen, not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 home runs, 4 catch. That's what superstars do.
And there he is.
On the horse, so to speak. He walked Eugenio Suarez in that game. He'll face him here with the bases loaded, nobody out. Diamondbacks lead it 4-1. Suarez hit a home run in his last at bat. He's got 2 hits here this afternoon. First pitch, swing and a miss. Pitching change brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute instant drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. Perdomo at first, McCarthy at second, Walker at third. Infield about halfway in for the Pods. 0-1. The pitch. Suarez swings and misses again. Back-to-back sliders. And now 0-2. De Los Santos shakes off Campusano. They go through a couple of more options. Now the big right-hander comes set. 0-2 and a step off. Looks like Campusano actually called for the timeout, so that counts as a disengagement. Nothing in 2 on Suarez. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball off of Campusano. And welcome back. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes. Catchers, man. Different breed back there. Caught him on the top of the left foot.
Campy's had a tough year back there on the foul balls. Part of the gig, though.
They don't call them the tools of ignorance for nothing. That catching gear. Ready to go on 0-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch. Suarez swings, hits it in the air deep down the left field line, but hooking foul.
You know, the other thing is with this new style of catching that everybody's been sort of transitioning over to with the one leg out, you're exposed even more to various parts of your body. It's made it even tougher on these receivers.
You got to figure at some point one of these companies has to develop some protection for the inner thigh. 0-2, And Suarez lifts it in the air to left center field. Profar was over towards the line. He's not going to be able to get it, and it will two-hop up against the wall. Walker scores easily. McCarthy right behind him. Perdomo on his way. He will score a bases-clearing double for Eugenio Suarez, and the Diamondbacks have broken it open 7-1 here in the ninth.
Suarez not missing fastballs today. Two-run home run on the fastball from Dylan Cease earlier, and this is another two-strike mistake. Fastball just middle of the zone, trying to go to the outside corner, leaked right back middle, and bottom part of this Diamondbacks lineup really doing the damage today.
Third hit for Eugenio Suarez, who has now driven in 5 of the 7 Arizona runs. Still nobody out in the top of the ninth inning. Suarez is at second base. The left-hand hitting Alek Thomas will be the batter. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Coming into this series, the Padres and Diamondbacks had played 7 games against one another this year. The average margin of victory in those games, no matter who was ahead, was 7 runs, a bunch of blowouts. And then they played these 2 close, crazy games the last couple of nights. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Well, we might be back into that other column here this afternoon unless the Padres really have something up their sleeves in the bottom of the ninth inning. Diamondbacks are now out hitting the Padres 10-3. 1-1 to Thomas, 0 for 3 on the day. Pitch from De Los Santos is swung on and missed. And now 1-2. By the way, I had this whole funny story about Eugenio Suarez. He did something very entertaining here last night. The guy drives in 5 runs in the late innings. I don't know that I want to tell him. There's the 1-2. And in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Takes away from the punchline a little bit, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great hitter. He really is. But, you know, the Padres have those cool seats right behind the visitors on deck area. I think they call it the on deck suite. It's kind of like a little box they've created literally by the visiting on deck circle. And last night, the family or whoever was sitting down there, they were taking a picture. As, of course, you would. You're sitting right up against, you know, the field while Suarez was on deck. 2-2 pitch is inside, ball 3. And he straight up photobombed him. He put his bat on his shoulder, got up on his tippy toes, big smile. Great picture. I had no idea. But as much as he may have enjoyed that, I'm sure he's enjoying his day even more here today.
So did they have any idea what was going on? No. I think it was until he got home.
Yeah, I'm sure it was after they looked at the picture. 3-2, sent in the air to left center again. Profar, long run, going back, still going back. He is at the wall. This one bounces in front of the fence and then hops over the wall. A rule book double for Alek Thomas. Suarez will come in to score, and it's 8-1 here in the ninth.
That one was up there for a long time, and it looked like Jackson Merrill and Jurickson Profar were both sort of trying to time it, thinking that it might be a rob a home run type situation. And when it landed, they kind of looked at each other as though to say, oh man, I'm surprised that we weren't able to run that one down.
It is now a 4-run ninth inning for the Diamondbacks, and still nobody out. Thomas at second base for the 9-hitter Kevin Newman, who doubled and scored last inning. First pitch from De Los Santos, a fastball down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Anyway, it was a great picture with Eugenio Suarez and those Padre fans last night. You can find it on social media. Pitch here is a slider that misses outside. 1-1 to Newman. Thomas leads at second base. The 1-1 is a check swing grounder to the right side. De Los Santos will try and glove it, misses it. Tries to tag Newman, misses him. Everybody's safe, and De Los Santos has been charged with an error. Runners on the corners, and still nobody out.
Boy, when it rains, it pours, and this is just really an inexcusable misplay by De Los Santos. It's a slow roller, a little hopper to the right side, and just can't grab it.
Campusano, meanwhile, out to visit with De Los Santos. Torey Lovello, I think, is saying, hey, they don't have any mound visits left. And the home plate umpire, Alex McKay, I would imagine is explaining, well, they were out, but you get another in the ninth if you run out. And Lovello keeps pointing out to the scoreboard in left field. And it looks like McKay is saying, I'm keeping track of it. I know what I'm doing. I know how to count. This is just my guess. But Torrey's pretty hot, and I think he wants to involve the crew chief, Bill Miller, who's now walking down the third baseline. So these guys will all come together about midway between home and third.
You know, there was a strange one that happened earlier, and I thought the home plate umpire was calling timeout. There was a step off the mound, and you had mentioned at the time, Jesse, that it was a step off. And I was a little confused by the signal by the umpire at that time, and I'm wondering if that has anything to do with this. May have nothing to do with it at all, but obviously there's a dispute over the count.
Yeah, Lovello, you could read his lips a little bit. He said something about a timeout, and he lifted up his hands. And he's arguing now pretty forcefully with both the crew chief Miller and the plate umpire McKay. Diamondbacks have an 8-1 lead here in the ninth inning. Runners on the corners and nobody out.
Do you remember that step off that I'm referencing?
Yeah. I don't remember if it was this inning or last inning because they've now blended together a little bit.
I agree, but I remember the moment, and I remember just a strange action by the home plate umpire as though he was saying, timeout, and then I'm not sure. That was the only thing that came to my mind. I just thought it was strange at the time. And maybe it has nothing to do with it.
On TV, they're showing a replay of the play, but I don't see anything there.
No, I don't either.
I think it had to do with maybe the mound visit, although I really don't know, and it's hard to know. Now they're calling Mike Schilt out of the first base dugout, and Alex McKay is saying something to Mike, who has seen his team kind of let this game get away from them a little bit. So he's probably not in the best mood. So he's having a conversation with the plate umpire. I just don't know. Now again, this is one of my hobby horses, so I apologize, but Bill Miller, the third base umpire, has a microphone, and it'd be great if he could tell the folks who paid really good money to be here what the heck is going on.
Yep.
Either way, play resumes with runners on the corners and nobody out. Corbin Carroll takes a slider for a strike. 8-1 Diamondbacks in the ninth inning. I believe it has to do with mound visits. And just based on body language, here's the 0-1 pitch. It's low.
I agree.
My guess is the Padres got a freebie. It somehow got messed up. The board is kind of unofficial. That's the reality of the scoreboard. They're wrong all the time around baseball in terms of balls and strikes, outs. Sometimes they've got the score wrong. And yes, sometimes they get the mound visits wrong. So the umpires and the players, responsibilities to know the right number. Pitch is high, 2-1. It said 1 on the board. Campusano went out there to chat, at which point Lovello came sprinting out of the third base dugout to try and stop things. And the next thing you know, it's a 3-4 minute delay. Here's the 2-1. Carroll grounds it sharply to second base. Long flip for 1 on to first is in time. And a 4-6-3 double play. Thomas comes in to score from third base. And the Diamondback lead is now 9-1, but the Padres get a couple of much needed outs.
Yeah, I agree, Jess. Based on the timing of Torey Lovello's coming out of that dugout, also with that mini mound visit taking place, even though we don't have the official explanation, I agree with you on what presumably happened there.
Base is empty, 2 down. Gabriel Moreno, the hitter. RBI single last inning, extended their lead, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. A 5-run ninth for the Diamondbacks. It's the most excited I've ever seen anybody about mound visits. This one is lined the other way, and a fair ball down the right field line. That'll kick into the corner. Moreno on his way to second base. Another hit for Arizona here in the ninth inning. It's a 2-out double.
Third double allowed by De Los Santos since coming into the ballgame. That two-seam fastball is just leaking back over the middle, Jesse. He's trying to get to the outside corner. In other words, the glove side, and they're just leaking back middle on him.
It does not appear as if any help is in the bullpen for De Los Santos. He's going to have to get this third out pretty much no matter what. Randall Grichuk will take inside ball one. Came on as a pinch hitter last inning for the DH Peterson. Rounded into a really well-turned double play. But it's gotten away here in the ninth inning. Diamondbacks have scored 5 times. They lead it 9-1. 1-0 pitch. Grichuk swings, pops it up. Left side of the infield. Solano and Kim both there. It'll be Kim. And on the infield dirt, the shortstop makes the catch to end the inning, but damage done. Arizona gets 5 runs on 5 hits. There was an error and 1 man left on base. Head to the bottom of the ninth inning. D-backs lead it 9-1 on the Padres Radio Network.
Looking for the best in HVAC? Choose Air Max, San Diego's highest rated.
And here's another one I believe went off the scoreboard. If you miss in the middle of the plate with Max Muncy, he's good. Look at that level swing right there. And he's a hitter. But what I love, watch him drop. What he does is he moves his hands and he loads into the back leg. Here you see the knob facing the catcher, which I really love because that's the power position for any power hitter.
Now it's time for Who Can It Be? We're going to show you a childhood photo of a big leaguer. Can you guess who it is? The answer is Andrew McCutchen.
Late in this game, it was 1-1 through 6, but the Diamondbacks got 2 in the 7th, what looked like a big add-on in the 8th, and they kind of blew it open with a 5-run 9th inning. Padres were set to have Arise, Profar, and Cronenworth coming up, but we're going to get a parade of pinch hitters here as Tyler Wade stands in for Luis Arise, who was named as an All-Star this afternoon. So the Diamondbacks, unless something really crazy happens here, will take 2 out of 3 in this series. Padres were trying to win a 5th consecutive series. And Bryce Jarvis misses upstairs with a fastball, 1-0.
37th appearance for Jarvis. We just saw him in last night's ball game for an inning. Padres scored a run. He struck out 2.
Fastball, strike 1-1. I think we saw everybody last night, right? Their entire pitching staff.
I saw the bullpens were basically empty.
One and one to the left-handed hitting Tyler Wade, and he takes outside 2 balls and a strike. Wade hitting .235 in 60 games this year. Murrieta guy swings and misses. And the count is now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Unfortunately, the most exciting thing that has happened this afternoon was the argument over presumably mound visits in the top of the inning. 2-2 to Wade. The pitch is hit hard but foul back behind home plate. So if our theory is right that the Padres basically got a freebie mound visit, you might be wondering, well, what was supposed to happen? And that's the interesting thing, right? There's not really a punishment, quote unquote, for exceeding your mound visits. 2-2 hit in the air, foul ground, third base. Suarez racing over towards the line, running out of room, and it's down in the first row.
You're just supposed to preemptively stop it and just make sure that it doesn't happen?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. The umpires are supposed to, be aware of the situation. But I think it was one of those, kind of perfect storms where maybe there was some confusion about whether they had one or none. And then also, I think the home plate umpire was getting new baseballs. Campusano just kind of walked out there, not really thinking anything of it. The board said that they had one left. So McKay couldn't really stop it. Foul ball again. But yeah, that's what's supposed to happen if you don't have any, is that, the umpire is just supposed to tell the catcher, hey, you don't have any mound visits. And he goes, oh, okay, thanks, and turns around. But that didn't happen. And Campusano got out to the mound, and at that point we saw Torey Lovello kind of sprint out of the third base dugout.
Seems strange that there wouldn't be some backup penalty in terms of maybe having to force a pitch out of the game.
Hit in the air, foul down the left field line, still 2-2. Yeah, I mean, that might literally, since they put this rule in, have been the first time that a team exceeded their mound visits. It's just, again, my understanding of the rule is that the umpires are just supposed to tell the guys you can't do that.
Uncharted territories, Jess.
Well, you never know what you're going to see when you show up to a big league game scan. Another foul ball slapped the other way by Tyler Wade, who's getting an opportunity here and is not just going to roll over and go away for the Diamondbacks. About to see pitch number 10 here from Bryce Jarvis. Diamondbacks lead 9-1 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Here's the pitch. And Wade takes outside, ball 3. Bryce Johnson, who is not related to the pitcher Jarvis, is waiting on deck to hit for profile. 3-2 again. Wade swings, lines it into right field, but Carroll had him well positioned. Goes back a few steps, makes the over-the-shoulder catch. And one down in the bottom of the ninth. Great 11-pitch AB by Tyler Wade, but nothing to show for it. And now a second consecutive pinch hitter, Bryce Johnson. Switch hitter will bat left-handed against Bryce Jarvis. 12th game as a Padre for Johnson. Came on defensively in the 8th inning yesterday, also off the bench as a pinch runner on Friday night. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it, foul right side, strike 1. Another sellout crowd here at Petco this afternoon, 41,112, 28th sellout of the year. And understandably, many of you have headed off to do other things. Swing and a foul ball, strike 2. Diamondbacks with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Padres off tomorrow, 2-game set against Seattle Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's the 0-2 and outside. Ball and 2 strikes.
Kind of curious to see that Seattle ball club, Jess.
Yeah.
Offensively challenged. They're another team that may be trying to hunt for some bats, but do they get 1 bat? Do they need to get 2 or 3?
Trying to hold off the Astros. Pitch low, 2-2.
They've got some bullpen depth, too, don't they? Something to maybe trade from? May see more of that this year. We were talking about the trades earlier, and you feel like you've always got to trade with a team that's out of it. Well, maybe not necessarily if there's a couple of teams with some surpluses.
Mix and match. 2-2 to Johnson. Sent in the air, center field, straight away and playable for Alec Thomas. Kind of circles around it now, makes the catch. And the Padres down to their final out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Cronenworth will be the batter here against Jarvis. Diamondbacks with an 8-run lead. It's going to turn out as a really nice road trip for Arizona. They took 2 out of 3 at Dodger Stadium. On the verge of taking 2 out of 3 here. They'll head home and host the Braves for 4 beginning tomorrow night. First pitch on the way, and Jake takes a fastball strike. 97 on the outside corner, 0-1. Padres got a run on a Profar homer, second batter in the first inning. They have not scored since. They have not had a hit since the 5th. Cronenworth takes a changeup outside, 1-1. There was good news today as the Padres found out officially they have 5 All-Stars this year. Swinging a foul ball back 1-2.
Third most representatives behind the Dodgers and the Phillies. No surprise with the Phillies, as we discussed throughout the broadcast, what a deep club that is.
1-2. Cronenworth hard on the ground, left side. Perdomo, great diving stop. Throw from his knee, no chance to get Cronenworth. But an unbelievable play to even get Leather on. Infield hit for Jake, his first knock of the day. And the Padres with a 2-out base runner and Manny Machado coming up.
Heck of a diving effort by Perdomo to his right. Threw from his knees, basically, with his sunglasses falling off and trying to distract him. No way he was going to be able to complete that play, but a heck of an effort.
Cronenworth at first, 2 down. Pitch to Machado is a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Manny is 0 for 3 on the day. All 3 of those at-bats came against Ryan Nelson, and they all were pop-outs. Twice to Perdomo and once to the catcher Moreno. 0-1 hit in the air to right field. Pretty well struck. Carroll back towards the corner. Kind of zigzagging over. Gets to the spot on the warning track to make the catch. And the ball game is over. The Diamondbacks come to town. They take 2 out of 3. And they will leave happy after a 9-1 win here this afternoon. Take a break. Come back. Give you some final thoughts and the totals on the Padres Radio Network.
Cooling or heating system on the fritz? Dripping faucet? Look no further than the pros at Tarpey Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Call Tarpey today and we'll waive the service call fee with any cooling, heating, or plumbing system repair. Feel confident knowing the trusted technicians at Tarpey Plumbing, Heating, and Air are ready 7 days a week to fix all of your cooling, heating, or plumbing system problems the right way the first time. Visit tarpeyheatingandair.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 1023478.
Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diegans fix it, build it, and enjoy it for over 100 years.
Every week, find dozens of bargains and savings in your Dixie Line mailer. With 8 locations, there's a Dixie Line Lumber and Home Center near you.
Hey, San Diego. Sellathon means big savings. Sellathon means great selection. Sellathon means 6 days to save. So visit your San Diego County Ford dealers now through July 8th and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. Or the do-it-all Ford Escape, with the elevated vibes you want and the versatility you need. And the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E, with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford 4th of July Sellathon. That means choices. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end July 8th. So go to your San Diego County Ford dealers today, based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
This is Xander Bogaerts. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Padres and Diamondbacks played a couple of thrillers to begin the weekend on Friday and yesterday here this afternoon. A decidedly different story, although this game was close heading to the 7th inning. But at that point, the Diamondback offense kind of came to life, took over, and they will leave town taking 2 out of 3 with a 9-1 victory here this afternoon. And obviously the 9 runs, a big story for the Diamondbacks, but on the Padres side offensively, they got the home run from Profar in the first inning. That was it. They never moved a guy beyond first base the rest of the day.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at how effectively Ryan Nilsson was able to be with his fastball. We talked about it before the broadcast. He's not had much of a secondary pitch to go to. The fastball has been getting hit above 300 for most of the season, but to his credit, he located it well. He stayed with it. He didn't make mistakes with his off-speed pitches. He didn't give a chance to make mistakes with the off-speed pitches because he didn't throw very many of them. He was mostly 70% fastball throughout this ball game. Did a nice job of not, going to the middle. He used all the different quadrants, sometimes by design, sometimes by accident, but it worked out. and Padres just couldn't get anything going against them.
And then late in the game against the beleaguered bullpen, you went to some of the lower leverage guys, and the Diamondbacks did what often happens in those cases.
Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, really, the game is the turning point's that home run by Eugenio Suarez against Dylan Cease in the 7th inning. Dylan was cruising. It's a 1-1 tie at that point, gives up the 2-out walk to Perdomo, and then Suarez gets him on a fastball. And that's really the turning point. To your point, Jesse, you go to your lower leverage bullpen guys, the runs score, but really when you look at it, at that point, Torey Lovullo probably has enough with Mantiply and Martinez to finish out those last couple of innings. Now, how he would have gotten through the 9th if the Padres had kept it close and put pressure on, that's a whole nother question, because Sewald may or may not have been available. He's not been effective his last couple of times out, but it's a moot point because the Diamondbacks basically blow it open and take all the decision-making out of Torey's hands at that point.
All right, so there you go. The good news today was that we found out the All-Star roster, and the Padres are going to be very well represented next week in Arlington. 5 Padres on the All-Star team. We knew about Profar and Tatis. Today we hear about Robert Suarez, Luis Arraez, and rookie Jackson Merrill. And how about this nugget from A.J. Cassavell? The last player younger than Jackson Merrill to appear in an All-Star game, Manny Machado, in 2013.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's really, I'm so happy for all of the Padres, but especially for Jackson Merrill, because he's done such an amazing job of making that transition in the outfield. He's proven that he can handle himself at the big league level with the bat. He's just gotten better and better. It's just been a fantastic first half of his career, and this puts a nice little exclamation point on it. And Jesse, to your point, I think it's nice to know that the rest of baseball is recognizing it as well, not just us.
No doubt about it. Day off tomorrow. Pods back at it here Tuesday against Logan Gilbert, who's an all-star, and the Seattle Mariners. Totals this afternoon. Arizona, 9 runs, dozen hits, no errors. They left 3. Padres, a run on 4 hits, an error. They also left 3. The winner, Ryan Nelson, he was very good, 6-6. Dylan Cease, the loss, 7-8. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 41 minutes. In front of yet another sellout crowd here at Petco Park, the 28th of the season, 41,112. Padre Baseball has been a presentation of Odyssey and the Padres Radio Network. Our producer-engineer is Dave Marcus. Studio coordinator Frank Marchese. For Bob Scanlon and Tony Gwynn Jr., I'm Jesse Agler, reminding you to join us Tuesday night at 6:40 for Game 1 against the M's. Stay tuned. The postgame show with Sam is coming up next.